we have removed your channel. We've reviewed the content and found several repeated violations of our community guidelines.
September back in 2023. What a very special time for AG. As I remember, what a night. What's up, Buttercups? Hi, Salty.
Hi, Genetic Code. How are you?
Well, I guess we're doing your sound check now, and it seems to be working for me. Hopefully, it is for everybody else.
Okay, because I have, but hold on. Okay, so can everybody hear me? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now, just give me 1 second because I want to see which one sounds better. So just humor me.
3 or 4.
As you say hi to everybody or do what you're going to do with your hairy ass today. I love Cookie Monster.
Well, do you know what? There's actually what? Well, I'm going to tell you what anyway. I have to show you guys this. Hang on, pull her up. So I guess Salty, while I'm pulling this up, Salty's going to do a sound check while she's muted. So that'll work out fine for nobody. So there's a reason that I am in this mode today. Oh, there we go. Okay, there we go. So, holy crap. Ooh. So I can't make it much bigger because it's going to get all deformed. But so President's Choice is a brand of one of our grocery store chains here in Canada. And I bought a bag of these. They're reverse chocolate decadent cookies. I ate that whole freaking bag last night in 2 hours. 2 hours!
Because you were high, I'm thinking.
Well, that might have had a little bit to do with it, a little lunchy fest. But
I don't know, kids.
Literally, that picture of Cookie Monster, that's exactly how I was eating them yesterday. Gobble, gobble, gobble.
I love Cookie Monster. Oh my gosh. That's fun. Well, okay. So you ate a whole bag of cookies on your Saturday night. What a loser.
Yeah, that goes to show you it's a party all night, which no, I was actually high and having a blast. I thought we just established that.
No, because
was I angry?
Home stoned, eating a whole bag of fucking cookies by yourself. You know, on a Saturday night.
On a Saturday night, it doesn't get more party central at Jungle Jam.
You are savage. You are.
In my old age. So did you just switch over to some other?
I tried to, and it would say what he said, reconnect this, whatever. I said, fuck it.
I'm not even leave well enough alone. We should know this by now. Don't mess with what's already. If it's not
you
broke,
can hear me.
Unfortunately, yes.
Hey, you know what?
What?
I don't have to be here. I like you. That's the only reason why I'm here right now on a Sunday morning.
Well, it's Sunday morning for you. It's after lunch here for.
Well, I mean, it's all relative. I guess it depends. It could be Sunday morning if I want it to be.
That's okay. If you're Larnie, she's probably sleeping because it's the middle of the night on Sunday, turning into Monday morning.
Oh, inconsiderate. Living in Australia, Larnie.
I know. I said that. I said to her when I sent her the link, I said, I do realize that this is the middle of the night for you, so I'm going to give you a pass this one time only.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Well, If I was a really angry bully, I would have not said that and then just given her shit.
Your ass better be there. I don't care if you have to drink.
Where were you? Damn it! Where were you? Not only were you late, you were a no-show.
What is wrong? Have you lost your fucking mind? No, I'm just sleeping. People don't need. You can sleep later. It's not like Salties. I won't be on for 18 fucking hours straight, Marty.
The land of the streamathon, never-ending streamathon. And I would, it's so wild. Actually, it's funny because
you didn't say anything about my fucking avatar.
Well, it was all about me and my avatar. Can we finish with me and then we can work to you? God damn it! You're always raining on my fucking parade. This is why I can't invite you out anywhere than here. This is why you get pity invites, because you pull shit like that.
Is Welsh lady here? You better talk to your girl here, Welsh lady. I'm about to freaking just leave and she'll be up here floundering.
So, I guess now that you pissed all over my Cookie Monster avatar, I guess we can move on to yours.
Forget it. It's too late now. I don't want you to look at my avatar. Don't say anything about it.
Is this official now because it is October 1st? October 2nd, turning into 3rd if you're down under. That
if we waited, it would have been the anniversary date of
Halloween costumes.
Yeah, that's why
The first, no, it's the 2nd anniversary. You can't even get the anniversary date.
That's why I said the 2nd anniversary. I didn't say the 1st, I said the 2nd. I said if we wait a couple of weeks, it'll be the 2nd anniversary of our cease and desist from AD. The man that's no longer on fucking YouTube, by the way. Yeah.
How's that appeal working out, Alan? No, obviously it's not because you're still not here. You're still terminated. Terminated.
What the fuck? I asked you last time. Gave me a little bit of a head when you're about to cue to a video, so I don't get cut off in the middle of something clever and funny that I'm saying, and I look like an idiot on the playback.
Let me tell you something. Well, now that you've made a big spectacle about that, you've now just made me look like an idiot because I didn't actually mean to do that. Thanks for making it.
God. I'm glad. If there's anybody here to give you perspective, it's going to be me. Welsh lady, please. Thank you. I'm so glad you're here. I love you. I love you more than her, first of all. You know that. Will you please tell her to get her shit together?
Well, that's
and not to be hating.
Ever going to happen. You know that. All right. Let's see what's going on here.
Haters and trolls. Sorry.
Haters and trolls and gang stalkers. So I'm going to say hi to G99 because G99 comes in, says hi. And then when I get around to saying hi to people, I don't see them. And I always feel bad because sometimes I feel like G99 thinks I miss them, but I don't. So what's up, G99? Cassius doesn't have to go to the store today. Thank God. Lady Witch. Our Brian is here. Miss Roberta Armour. And your favorite Welsh lady. And all the other people watching, lurking, hating, and recording. Big hellos to you too. What up?
Darzan.
I thought I saw Darzan. I did see Darzan. And now when I look and participate.
Wicked Moon? Did you say hi to Wicked Moon?
No, I didn't.
Lady Witch?
Anybody have that's.
Did you say hi to Lady Witch?
I'm not trying to
Oliver.
There's Darzan.
Missing Unsolved Crime? Hi.
Yes. Come on,
I'm trying to catch up. If you never look at your chat, you don't know who's there. You ain't got to say hi. So there's no pressure.
I'm looking at it, and that's all that was showing up were the ones that. But
no,
now I'm going back.
If you're like me, if you're like me, you don't look at your chat. You don't know who's there. You don't say hi. You won't feel bad later. Because if you say hi to one person, you can't say hi to everybody, and it's kind of like a clicky thing, and then you get people pissed off at you.
Is that what I'm doing wrong? Just saying hello, period? Should I just not acknowledge or engage?
Because you're angry shouting in. Angry shouting.
Fuck y'all, I'm not engaging or acknowledging none of y'all going forward starting now. And that includes
I'm angry shouting. Fuck y'all. I don't have to say hi to anybody. Right? Or not.
You don't come off angry when you try to be angry and shouty. It doesn't.
No, I'm not.
That doesn't sound as angry as.
It's a parody. Okay, it's a critique. It's a critique of you being angry shouting.
Everybody loves a little critique. Oh God, I'll never forget that critique. God damn. I gave up when I heard about them eating cookies. Oh, why would that be the first comment that I pinned? My Cookie Monster, I'm taking that down right now.
Oh my gosh, Cassie,
that was not where I was going with my Cookie Monster. That's
just
fucking
shit all over it and made Cookie Monster filthy.
Oh my
Shame
God.
on you. Are you crazy?
That's it. I am yanking Cassius's wrench. He is fucking done. Can somebody show him to the door?
It's about time. I'm wondering why you liked him so fucking much anyway. He's a stalker.
You can have him back. Can you believe that? Derailed my whole fucking stream in the first 17 minutes. Damn you to hell, all of it.
We're doing a little retrospective, and I ain't got nothing planned for this. So here we go. Just a fun side note, people. Cassius didn't know anything about house cookies until he was up on my live stream, and I had to tell him about it. So that was fun.
Let's kickstart the retrospective.
That's a good place to start, I think. I don't know. Hi, Oliver. Hi, Roberta.
Well, hi, Whiskey. Oh, you just came in just in time, Whiskey. You just missed the debauchery. That is Cassius.
Hi, Cassius.
Who, you know what? This cannot happen ever again because I will not have my reverse chocolate decadent cookies ruined for the rest of my life, or any cookie for that matter.
So you're saying this. You're saying that you would not join Patreon right now to see Cassius eat cookies out of my ass.
Nope. And I wouldn't even take a free link if somebody
even if I give you a discount.
Buy one, get two free, and I'm in. That's accounts, not ass cookies.
I'm saying hi, Lady Witch. Let me say my highs really quick. Hi, Wicked Moon. I said hi, Misty Against I'm crying. Hi, Brian.
Yeah, give me a second.
Hi, Darced. It's good to see y'all. Hi, again, Roberta and Darced. Cassius. Hi, Cassius. And your cookies. Hi, Genetic Code. I love Dim Zach. Classic. Oh, gosh. What a day. What a day already. Right? Yes. Where's G99? There you are. Hey, G99. Good to see you. I'm a little congested. I'm not fully functional, but I haven't been for since 2002. So I'm kind of used to it. Where's Lady? Where is she? Where's Lady? I'm so glad to see you. I am. Jen's not glad. She knows that you're always going to take my side because I'm your favorite person. Simple.
You are aware that your dysfunctionality rubs off on me?
That was your dysfunctionality. You know what? That's what it is. My shit rubs off on you. Your shit rubs off on me. That's why we are never, ever, ever going to get our shit together. That kind of
go anywhere in life.
We will never, ever, ever get our shit together.
Oh, what a night. Late September back in 23. What a special night for me. As I remember, what a night. That's my little ditty for the day.
Yeah, I get it. You said 23. I get it. Clever. So
yes, instead of the Four Seasons.
It took me until now to get that.
Oh, what a night. I renamed it to September 2023. Oh, what a night by DJ Jungle Jen.
I went to the store four times the last for Pepper. Fucking Pepper?
Who the fuck goes to the store for Pepper?
John, because he forgot it.
See, that's why you should write it down, and that wouldn't happen.
He's always going to the shop. He's always going to the shops. He always forgets something.
Is that like code for actually something else? Going to the shop. I mean,
really? I don't know, but if it is, I feel really awkward. It makes me feel a little weird.
Did you sense that kind of awkward silence?
I was waiting for him to answer, actually. Good to see you. I am so congested. This is crazy. Oliver again.
I've got a cough.
Stop. I hope you better mute yourself when you do that. I don't want to catch anything that you got. Can't afford that to get sick again for anything. God only knows what you have up there in Canada.
See, at least here in Canada, we have healthcare that covers us. Unlike you, Americans have to.
I know.
God, I remember down here. That's crazy. I remember when I moved when I lived in Maine back when I was 20 in 1990. I remember I didn't tell my parents that I'd gone down to the States. until I was already there. And when I called my parents. Let's just say my mom was a bit stunned to find out that I'd like literally just picked up and moved.
It's not like you moved far away.
No, not like did I move across fucking across the nation. I fucking moved countries. Anyways, the first thing out of her mouth was, and I mean, obviously it came from a place of concern, but was, what are you going to do if you get hit by a car? You don't have any health insurance. The ambulance isn't going to come and pick you up. They're going to just leave you there to die on the side of the road. So tell me how you really feel about me.
No, they take you to the border and dump you on that side of the road. Maybe.
Catapult me across.
You're going to be asking them for that $5,000 2-mile trip in the ambulance to get you up into Canada. So
well, I would just go on Judge Judy and sue somebody to pay for that. So needless to say, I know you guys are all hanging on that cliffhanger. I didn't get hit by a car, so crisis avoided.
That would explain a lot if you had been, though, I think. But a bum. I still got it, guys, even on a Sunday.
Oh, how was that? What was that? What was that? Now say that again. Say that again. Come on.
Say what?
Make your joke again.
Bum. I still got it.
Make the joke itself.
I said that would explain a lot of things, actually, if you did get hit by a car. But I'm bum. Sorry, that was.
This is why. This is why I don't tell you things, because the element of surprise is the best.
That was a good one. Though. You did get me there. Okay, so what are we doing here? I mean, what is the point of today's exercise? Study group? I don't understand what's happening. Are we still having study groups, or is that a thing?
Well,
I haven't had a study group in a long time.
I guess now it's a retrospective study group, so to speak.
But not really. Don't say it's a retrospective until I get shit together for it to be a really cool retrospective. That puts a lot of pressure on me, and I get resentful.
Well, it could be a pre-retrospective then.
That's it.
Retrospective appetizer. How's that?
Oh, but not retrospective from our point of view. It's a retrospective of shitlord. Or
just basic. I just wanted to do a quick just catch up since it's been 10 days since.
Has it been?
Since what?
So it's I was wondering if it's 2 weeks already.
No, it'll be September 20th was
the day that will live in infamy.
We have removed your channel. We have reviewed the content and found several repeated violations of our community guidelines.
That was fun.
Oh yeah.
That was fun. JC still has a sugar rush. See, that's what she wouldn't even know if it was a sugar high or a reefer addict high. I mean, come on, Lady Witch. Would you? Would you know the difference?
Column A and a little of column B. Hi, Elabella.
Hi, Elabella.
I saw her before you did. Back off, my friend. You have Welsh Lady. Elabella is mine, and this is not up for debate, barter, or anything of the like.
Who wants Cassian?
No, so let's just throw him to the wolves. Nobody wants him.
I do. I want him.
Yeah, okay. He's all right. Yeah,
so,
but
doing a little retrospective. I know that, but I was gonna have to say this just to. I did watch that video you sent me, so I did my homework. Teacher.
Gold stars for you.
You know what I kept thinking? You know what I kept thinking is why this will. Hopefully, this is going to be. Hopefully. Well, I mean, I don't get onto YouTube thinking I'm going to be seeing his ass anymore. Not that I did anyway, because I never, went to that side when I'm on YouTube. It's for fun and recreation. I don't watch y'all or him. But why is he still? Hopefully, we won't have to see him again. I guess what I'm saying is, hopefully, this is, you won't be playing his ass that many times. If that makes sense. Because I think it's stupid. He's gone. I don't want to see his ass anymore. He's done.
Well, and that's kind of obviously, I mean, you know that. Maybe we should fill everybody else in, but that's sort of a lot of the point of
That was
of
my
touch base
segue.
today is-
I know I wasn't sure if you would have played that video first.
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
I can actually. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. All
Yeah,
right,
'cause I need
let's.
to.
You need
Oh, I
what?
gotta shut it again. No, I'm going to. I'm
Well, I
still
thought you were gonna
looking.
say you need.
I was
coffee
still
or
look.
something.
I'm looking and drooling over the coffee that I made quite some time ago that I haven't been able to drink yet. So
Mine
that'll
is
be good.
actually out of arms. Mine is out of my arm's length right now. So when I put this video on,
You better do something to remedy that shit.
well, I've already had about 3 cups of coffee today, and I have about I don't
Fuck.
know, maybe 3 more.
So
Right,
your
right.
caffeine's going to be
Because I'm
wearing
not
off.
vibrating or anything.
Yes, because
Huh?
yours will be wearing off while my caffeine kicks in. That'll be fun.
Oh God, swapping shifts. All right, yeah. So before we swapping coffee shifts. So before we kind of touch base anymore, I'm going to play this little, I guess, video that I put together specifically for this stream.
We've been terminated. I had
Yeah.
a note this morning that I was suspended when I woke up, and I later got a termination email for all my channels one by one.
You said
But
terminated.
basically, they terminate one, and then you lose all the others anyway. So I don't even know which channel caused the problem. We've reviewed the content and found several repeated violations of our community guidelines. We've reviewed the content and found several repeated violations of our community guidelines. Because of this, we're going to remove your channel from YouTube. We know this is very upsetting for you, but it's our job to make sure YouTube is a safe place. We take it down to protect other users of the platform. If you believe we made the wrong call, you can appeal this decision.
Computer says no.
We used a combination of automated systems and human reviews to detect violations. How this affects your channel: we have permanently removed your channel from YouTube. Going forward, you won't be able to access or possess or create any other YouTube channels.
By the time a channel has been declared DOA by YouTube, the channel host has a pretty good idea why. Because they've intentionally pushed or crossed the boundaries, and they did it thinking that YouTube will never see them. Obviously, they were wrong.
It doesn't give me a reason. It doesn't give me what I've done wrong. Normally, they tell you what they've done wrong. This is what you've done wrong. We have reviewed your contact and found severe or repeated violations of our community guidelines.
There you go, severe.
Because of that, we removed your channel from.
Severe or
Hold on.
repeated.
Let's go back just a tad bit on that one again.
And whichever one I open, it says the same words. We have reviewed your contact and found severe or repeated violations of our community guidelines. Because of that, we removed your channel from YouTube.
So as someone who worked inside of the tech industry for over 25 years, let me give you some insight into the factors that go into these decisions. I'm too far removed now to understand the exact process by which they go through these decision points, but I do know what goes into their thinking to make a drastic decision, okay? So to put it in a nutshell, tech companies make their decisions based on a cost to benefit ratio analysis. Will the benefits of keeping this channel outweigh the cost?
Probably YouTube had to hire a whole armchair detective department just to deal with all of the reports, everything to do with him. And they're like, yeah, this is costing us too much money. Now he's got to go.
It's a business decision for them because YouTube is a business. But what goes into that business decision? They'll look at how much money the channel makes for them. They'll compare that to the benefit against the potential long-term liabilities of keeping that channel. They'll try to quantify how much money they could lose down the line as a result of the channel's conduct. They'll look at whether there are any lawsuits. They'll look at where the lawsuit stands and the direction of the lawsuit. They'll look at how many man hours have gone into resolving issues internally related to that channel. They'll look at whether the channel has a potential to damage YouTube's public reputation. This means they'll check into whether the press has covered them or whether the press has at least inquired about them. And they look at how much press coverage the channel has the potential to receive based on YouTube's action or non-action now and in the future. And as they're looking at all the ramifications of not deleting a channel, they'll also consider all the ramifications they might face if they do delete a channel, especially if it's very popular. Whenever a channel is removed, there's a high probability that the channel owner will martyr themselves and play the underdog card.
I think if I had to take my best guess, it would be the constant reporting of me over the years that build up and they've gone, "Let's stuff it, we can't stand anymore." It might have reached a point. I mean, you've got to realize that they report me hundreds of times a week.
So to justify taking down a money-making channel and facing the public backlash, they need to base their decision on an indisputable reason. Even though this indisputable decision or reason will never be known by the creator or the public, internally, these decision makers know at least what this indisputable reason is, and that's what makes it easier for them to ride the wave of a future backlash. I think they looked at all of the quantifiable and non-quantifiable data and decided that he is a liability and that whatever backlash they may face for taking down the channel, it's worth it. In other words, he failed in the cost of benefit ratio analysis. So since there are so many YouTube channels and since so many channels engage in really abhorrent behavior, this process takes a lot of time. In the meantime, the channels that really are problematic and really do cause harm to people will continue creating those victims. They see that creating victims is just part of earning them a lot of subscribers and views and therefore money. So these people know that they're repeatedly violating YouTube's terms of service, but they'll continue to violate them because it works for them and there's no mommy in their face telling them no. You have a little bit of a better idea of how internally they approach that fatal channel making decision.
We have removed your channel. We have reviewed the content and found several repeated violations of our community guidelines. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Well, I'm back. Am I here?
Yep. Am I here? Can you give me 1 second? I got to put you on mute for a second. I'll be back in just like a minute or two.
Wait. Oh, you're muting. I thought you were going to mute me for a couple minutes. I'm like, are you fucking crazy? You don't need to mute me. I'll leave before I let you mute me for no damn reason. You know that? Where were we? We all hoped that getting terminated from YouTube would end all of this. But those who want the drama have gone to rumble. Rumble, rumble in the jungle. Bringing it back to YouTube, though. That's the issue that I have. It's just stupid. It's stupid. The man's content no longer exists. It's like it never existed at all. How are you going to, even those that say that they're debunking him still, what are you debunking? There's nothing to debunk, especially here. Well, it doesn't matter how much he made in his Patreon off of that content 3 years ago. It's gone. Like it never existed again. It never existed. And see, this is where my issue comes in. And I have no idea what Jen's going to be saying or what she wanted to say, but I'm going to say this. in case y'all missed it, when we mentioned it very briefly, just so y'all know. AT sent us the documentation from his lawyers, from their lawyers. The first set of paperwork and the particulars of claim that was filed on March 10th. So we have that. Now, why they wanted us to have it, I don't know. I think he was going to see if we would use it for content, and it wasn't to be used for content. I would never use it for content.
Exactly.
But I don't know how to word this. We could have said a whole lot of things for a long time, and we were going to touch base on it in conjunction with especially with the rest of the Claire Morgan tapes, let's say. But time got in the way and things happened. And of course, now he's not here.
And it's also been 2 years.
Yeah. Oh, well, I thought, wait.
What?
Oh, you're talking about Claire.
Yeah, I was just talking about Claire.
I was talking about how catastrophic what she did really was. And because we were doing the Claire Morgan tapes, and then we had this information on, the legal stuff from him and
then boom, all of a sudden he was gone.
He was gone. So, and you know what? Honestly, what did we say to each other? This is like the best thing that could have fucking happened at this point. Absolutely. The worst thing for Frank Rusek Jr., though.
Yep.
The worst fucking thing for him, but the best thing for AD. And while I'm thinking about it as well, if I could say one thing to the pervy fraud right now, it would be what I said about people like Natasha Cooper and all the others. Be honest with your douchebaggery from the fucking beginning. Because if you're honest about your douchebaggery and people know what it is that you're all about, you're not going to have to worry about anything. Honestly. Be honest about your douchebaggery and your fuckery.
You honestly won't have to worry about anything if you're honest.
I mean, tell the conspiracy theories and everything else, but you know what? It's not like he started that over there with the belief that everybody here, or if anybody came across him, would know that he wasn't there and he wasn't going to ask for donation or if they could be monetized. I mean, that's just a fucking fallacy. And the fact that y'all are still using that, and you're actively seeking him out now that he's gone off of this platform, which is what you all wanted, actively seeking him out, and then bringing his content back here and uploading on your fucking channels for entertainment. What if I told you right now that one of the things in that particular claim, that the recurring theme in that fucking particulars of claim, was the claim that Frank Rusek Jr. can't even Google anything or get on to YouTube or any other place without being inundated with Alan Vinicum and his fuckery, and the fact that people re-upload his content constantly. It's making his life fucking torturous. Torturous. Because they re-uploaded content of the Armchair Detective as well. So even though he wouldn't seek his content out, other people re-uploading it and sharing it and putting onto Facebook and sending clips and talking about him in his comments section. That was one of the things that he was claiming was so catastrophic to him emotionally, mentally, that he can't work, that he can't leave his house. He can't use his regular phone number. He's afraid to look at his messages. Y'all are doing the very thing that he says was torturing him. I want y'all to know that. All of you that are still using his content, whether you're regurgitating your old shit or not, by bringing his new shit over there on Rumble to your YouTube channels, is the very thing that Frank Rusek Jr. is using to prove that he's being emotionally and psychologically tortured by Alan Vinicum. I hope y'all are listening. That's what I know I'm all over the place, but y'all are doing the very thing that he says is torturing him.
Well, to those people, sorry, I'll let you finish because I'm going to go on a ramble after. I'll let you finish.
So here, you all still want to say that y'all are here for this family, right? And the genuine Rusek supporters, or whatever the fuck you want to call yourselves. The fact of the matter is that from day one, y'all have done everything you could to tank this. And it was destined to fail anyway because of Martin Dehan. It was never going to come to fruition. Any of the things that we wanted to see happen was never going to happen, ultimately, because of him and a few others. So
how many years were you saying Dehan was a fucking liability?
Well, it seems like 100 years, Jungle Dad. Let's be honest.
Well, it does. It does.
For years. But in that particular claim and throughout, I mean, that's one of the things that he's constantly saying in an effort to prove this emotional distress and this psychological distress. And he's, afraid to leave his house, and he can't have his phone number, or he's afraid to look at his phone, and he's afraid to get on Google. He's afraid to get onto YouTube and everywhere else, is because the constant restreaming of this man's content and being re-uploaded onto other channels, blah, 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 blah. Not that that's going to make any difference to the people that are still doing that shit, especially anybody that wants to simulate, and masturbate into a photograph of AD on his fucking screen. He doesn't fucking care. But if you have any conviction whatsoever, and you ever believed that what you were doing was for that family, I'm asking you to listen again. Y'all are doing the very thing that he is claiming in that particular of claims over there that he filed on March 10th. By the constant re-uploading and sharing of that man's content that he can't get away from. Now, we all know that he'd go over there into the comment sections and give us big thumbs up and a little gold star and all that other shit. That's over and said and done with and dusted, right? But y'all are doing the very thing that he said is causing him to be tortured, quote unquote, every day. Yeah.
Well,
the constant. You know what? Expose him. We want to expose what? Nobody here knows who he is. If they got on and they ever heard about anybody named the Armchair Detective, like that's ever going to happen. Like some person is going to come onto YouTube and end up on one of these fucking channels and say, "Oh, who's that guy? Let me go find him." Oh, he's not on YouTube anymore. Look, but they say he's on Rumble. Let me go and find him. People don't fucking care. There's nothing left to expose. He's not here. So. Were you
and you're not debunking. Hang on, Sam. Fucking battery acid. You're not debunking. Fuck all. All you're doing is ripping frame by frame every breath and every single word that Alan speaks in between, calling him a pedo, non-skate, child fucking abuser. That's all you're fucking doing. You're not debunking shit. Sorry, Sam. Carry on.
Oh no. I'm glad you said that because it's true. There's nothing to debunk. This is what I've come to real. This is another thing. Y'all need him. Y'all want AD. You really do. Y'all want Alan Vinicum. Y'all need Alan Vinicum. Don't you? When we say there are people that don't want this to stop and they never did.
Yep.
Right? Their motives for being here were more for the drama with each other and the obsession,
There's a small collective group of misfits that don't want this to end ever.
Ever. I mean, y'all need him. Y'all really, really, really want him too. And it's, it's sad and it's gross, especially to those that way back in the day we thought were a true channel, right? It's just, it's delusional. It's creepy. He's off of the platform and then you go and find him on another one. That shows you right there that you're just a little fucking delusional. Why would you wanted him off of YouTube and he's gone. But now you're going to go over there and try to troll him in his fucking comments on his Rumble? Or wherever else
after creating fucking, so there's a couple AD spoof accounts that I personally, just by the people commenting under them, is the creation of battery acid, along with Martin Dehan's Tech Insider account that he created on Rumble, which has uploaded, I don't know, probably a good 30 videos consisting along with Patreon content, Alan's actual content, Patreon from 2018, 2019. And as far as battery acid, him and his fucking claims of he's the one that took Alan down for apparently homophobic slurs of Alan calling him batty boy. You're not even fucking gay, you fucking moron. So fuck off with that, Mr. Johnny Come Lately. All you've done, you had nothing to do with orchestrating and being. You sound like Martin Dehan actually with these claims.
Damn.
I took Alex
really
Jones
does.
down.
He really does.
Oh yeah. You know what, Daphne? I think it was Daphne, or it might have been Karen. Made a comment the other day saying that, I mean, the two of them are Battery Acid and AD are two peas in a fucking pod. Apparently, Battery Acid pulled a page right out of Alan's book, sent himself a tippy or wanted somebody to send him a fucking tip for his sippy tippy cup to make sure they were working. His super chat was working. Yeah.
Wow.
Fucking mental fucking egomaniacal fucking crazy ass grifting fucking parasite you are, Battery Acid. Fuck off with your bad self. And your little Slinky Socks friend too, with 5 years too fucking late to the party, uploading again the fucking shit from Rumble. I want to say this actually.
Why?
Ask
yourselves what? Why though? Why?
Well, let me spit this out here, Sam. I want to read a little bit of Emerald Kimmy's comment that she actually left. Yeah. Sorry, and then once I get this spit out, then I won't be so rude and be like, let me just spit this out. You can go back to your usual interrupting me. Anyway, so I want to read a little bit of this comment that Emerald Kimmy
that's an interruption.
left for me. And a big collective fuck you to the people that slag her off for her long comments. Nobody's forcing you to read them. And I think they're very insightful and very, very well put together. Yep, and obviously that bothers some people, but you don't have to. Yep. Hey, Jen, how's it going? I like your new name. Hey, you know, Jen. It's kind of funny because I actually haven't, last time I saw AD was when you did, I guess, your very last See You the Fuck Later, I'm at a Dodge stream when you streamed Alan's Rumble there. I guess that was last week enough. Anyways, I haven't watched him since that stream. I watched a little bit of his Barry Morphy
one.
I want
to before you go on with that, I want to say this. I wasn't speaking. I understand. It's like we did that last day or the last live stream we did, right? The day that he lost the channels and he was gone, right? And I get, doing the follow up with it, especially, and I would expect that from all of the people that, back in the day were anti-AD channels, let's say, right? I would expect something like that. But for y'all to be going over there to Rumble and actually fucking taking his content and uploading it to your YouTube, that is fucking maniacal.
Well, and promoting
that is harassment. That is cyber stalking. That is,
just real gang stalking.
Fucking yes, it is. So I want you to know enough. I wasn't even. That's not what I meant.
So this little blurb, if you want to see, I just put the link into my community post where you can find Emery's entire comment. I've just taken a little bit out of it. Just a reminder, if anybody's community post, you have to switch comments. YouTube's default is top comments. You actually have to manually switch them to new comments to see all the comments. Unfortunately, YouTube Studio doesn't allow us to set that default. Very stupid. Anyways, moving along. So basically, I mean, I couldn't have said it any better than Emerald Kimmy did, which is why I'm just going to plagiarize the shit out of her and read this out. To those of you who have made videos about AD post-termination, why? I thought you wanted AD gone from YouTube. How is continuing to make videos about him and uploading them to YouTube supposed to keep AD off of YouTube? Seems to me that by continuing to do this, you are contradicting yourselves by putting Alan right back where you said you did not want him, YouTube. Now, with AD gone from YouTube, the only way you'd find him or you'd find where he is streaming is if you're looking for him. Actively looking for him. If the content of his YouTube videos and live streams were so offensive to the Ruzeks or other families, why would you even consider uploading your own copies of his YouTube content, even to another platform, if the goal was the removal of that content? Now, when you do these things, you are basically giving a big, I'm putting in my own wording here, a big fuck you. Emerald Kimmy was far more eloquent and said, indeed, basically flipping the bird. But I'm going to say a big fuck you to everybody who spent the last 5 years commenting, reporting, supporting, donating, crying, bleeding, sweating, making videos, etc. Along with, most importantly, your big fuck you to the very family who wanted peace from Alan's torture on YouTube.
Yep.
The End by Jen and Emerald Kitty.
Yep. That's why, the word torture or torturous is very appropriate, because that is a word that is used consistently in the legal documentation and the particulars claim that was filed back on March 10th.
6.5 months ago.
6.5 months ago. So,
hi, Adam. Hi, Carolyn D. Sorry. I'm just saying hi to people because you're fucking rude.
So that is extremely... Sorry. What?
Hi, Nuff. I spoke to her, but I didn't say hi. Carry on.
I can't. Oh, yeah. Torturous, torture, to torture.
What you're doing to me right now.
Yeah, is. God damn it. I'm just done. I'm done.
Are you? Oh, what a night. Oh, yes. If I had known it was that easy to shake that thing, I would have done this a long time ago. Well, I think she means business. She has left the fucking building. Baby, come back. Oh, come back to me. Baby, come back. God, I'm sorry, Sam. I just wanted to say hi to people. Guys, what am I going to do? I'm nothing without her. Oh my God, thank God you're here. I couldn't live without you.
Don't make me do that again. Stop embarrassing me in front of all your fucking friends in the chat, too.
Okay, that was really serious business. I'm really sorry. I'm sorry. It'll never happen again. I don't know what
I love you. That was fun. I just thought, shit, now I can't go back in.
It would have been more fun if I had done it, actually.
It would have been. That would have been funny. That would have been torturous.
Can I tell you, by the way, speaking of kicking off, can I just remind you, it didn't occur to me until well after you said it. I know how you told everybody that you loved getting me riled up. When you would like leave your own stream and you would leave me by myself. You know what? It didn't occur to me until after. I only started actually doing live streams, a year ago in July. So back then, at that time, I was fucking freaking the fuck out because I had no idea how StreamYard worked, what, you know what I mean? Like, I literally, so I realized that it's kind of even funnier if I wasn't the brunt of that joke by the fact that I honestly didn't even know how the platform, like how the system works. So I really was like, oh my God, deer caught in the headlights, not sure what to do. So and you can enjoy that. I'll get one up.
That was fun. So just a brief synopsis, I would drop myself up on, from my stream when Jen was up there with me, especially when she was by herself, because she would just flounder and freak the fuck out. And it was hilarious. So, but that taught you independence, damn it. And now you're the big YouTuber troll that you are today. Can I help you, young lady? And would you like to say hello to everybody here?
It helped me build character. Yes, I'll give you that. But
in the mic.
My God, fucking talk about giving me anxiety through the roof. Now, what were you saying of important?
Hi. She's saying hi. She's saying hi.
Yo, Maddie, what's up, little salty in the house?
Yeah, now she needs me for something. I got mute.
Fuck. I don't blame her. I only talk to you when I have to as well. She's got to be in your presence only when she has to. So is Jen, Nuff, is it official? We get to call you JJ now? See, I still want Nuff. You'll always be Nuff.
I'm back. Jen's Johnny. I like it though. But everybody's still going to call you Nuff. Those that knew her and stuff. That's just gonna. It's a habit. You know.
What's this? Sorry. Whiskey at YouTuber. I don't watch him either, but I have the luxury of reviewing his dumbass moments that we do capture. Are you talking about fucking dirty ass, creepy, stalking, coward behind Chuff's couch D-Hen, or are you talking about Alan, or both?
Because he's legit straight up obsessed with that bastard. When you actually create a Rumble account and start putting shit up on Rumble, You are a fucking obsessed, creepy ass, stalkerish fangirl.
That's why I have officially titled Martin Dehan the latest official torturer of the family.
Yeah,
because that's exactly what he is. How do you like your boyfriend now, fake as fuck Chuff? Although, can I say, speaking of her, I don't want to really talk about them any more than we need to. Can I fucking tell you how incredibly peaceful and back to actually being enjoyable YouTube is again with the removal with the running, cowering, and hiding of fake as fuck Chuff, Dehan, Sacks on Earth. By the way, undercover mother, I just gotta say this. It took you 3 days to come up with the most ridiculous fucking response. Number one, your response to your re-uploading of the funeral video 2 years later. What was said 2 years ago when AD was still on YouTube actively causing mass fucking debauchery doesn't have the same meaning today because he's gone. Second of all, when you try to justify, excuse, reason your uploading of that video based on Sacks on Earth, the best friend of the other non-lawyering liar, Jan Meredith Frost, who the two of them with their never-ending fanatical serial lies of ongoing police investigations being spearheaded by Sacks on Earth and Armchair being in there too. You're going to use her as your justification?
No.
Is fucking, I mean, that rests our case right there.
Do y'all remember that last with the Clara Morgan tapes when y'all were hearing Kim and all the shit that she was saying? All of that fucking conspiratorial crap and bullshit. Alex was part of that. And she mentioned her and referred to her several times throughout. So, you know, I'm not going to say anything else.
That you mean you're not going to say anything else for the rest of the day?
No, I meant about that in particular because I don't feel one way or another. I just think that it's stupid to think that, again, there's no gold stars to be had from anybody anymore, especially if their last name is Rusek, and there hasn't been for a really long fucking time. So whatever validation that you think that any of y'all think that y'all are getting from anybody in that family is delusional.
Well, and it also boils down to if you were actually looking, wanting, or requiring a gold star, then you weren't doing it for the right reasons in the first fucking place.
No shit. Y'all are just trying to keep validating each other. Just a few of y'all are left. Seriously. Yeah. But that's just ridiculous. And again, the word torture is very appropriate because, again, that's exactly what he said was being caused by AD here. And all of the people that were re-uploading his content and sharing it and all that, everything else. It was torturous, torture. He's being tortured. So how about you fucking stop and take a step back and really think if what you're doing is appropriate in any way?
Well, they obviously, they don't care. They obviously don't care.
No, they don't.
They don't care at all. They don't give a fuck about
it. But again, you know what though? I would say this to you, CM. You know, using your own discernment, quite honestly. Why wouldn't you have stopped the people that were doing everything they could to fucking sabotage that damn thing from the get-go after the shit with Claire? Why didn't y'all do that?
No, instead she's actively promoting and advertising for fucking Martin Dehan.
Why wouldn't you do that back then?
These are supposed to be, and I'm using the term in air quotes, the genuine Rusek supporters. Make that fucking make sense. Only in a bizarro world.
Not one of you at the time, or especially since, really wanted to advocate for Claire. You would never come over there and say we were lying flat out about her. She never stood up for herself. She couldn't because she was a liar, and that was fine. I didn't need any validation about that, and neither did Jen. But all the fuckery that took place.
And again, you want to remind people, Sam, how you do it so well, how we were here long before the fucking family showed up?
Well, I was. You were. I think we all were.
Like you said, that community was already built for them just to slide right in.
Yeah. I can see what you're talking about with the money, especially because let's just talk some numbers here. We'll talk about my numbers, okay? About money. You want to real quick?
You know what?
Oh, right.
I suck at math.
I know you do, babe. And I always lied about sucking at math because I really don't. Now, the fact of the matter is this.
Stop, you're revealing all of your secrets.
People are talking about money and about, the resources, using these crimes and tragedies, exploiting them to such a degree. Or let's play devil's advocate, the family themselves using that as a means to get financial aid or help or anything, in that regard. I don't see it that way. I don't think about it like at all, actually. But with that money in particular, as far as the legal case, that fund, where else was he going to ask people to donate to that? Who else was going to bankroll that? Who would bankroll that? The people that were here already, that were already speaking out against AD and about AD and exposing AD back in the day, right? All of us. That's what we were doing. So he had that market tapped, essentially. That's why you're not going to see it or ever really see it being hawked, in other places, other platforms, being shared with other people, offline even. It was us from the get-go. We were the ones that were going to be doing it. Right. And I'm going to remind everybody that is not, Frank Rusick Jr. is the case owner on Crowd Justice. But he's not the owner of the Crowd Justice site or the fund or the client. That would be Yair Cohen, the lawyer. Yair Cohen hired legal/Crowd Justice to provide a service to him, and that included the use of that site to crowdfund future legal cases. So, of course, when he asks for money still, and it's going into that fund, it goes to Yair to pay for all the work that he's done or that he did. But where else would that money come from other than the people that were here already from us? It's sad. He had so many other resources and people that he could have shared that with and ways to raise money. I guess what I'm saying is this, with all the fucking subs that you think that he has or you have over there, you have the ability to raise a whole lot more fucking money. If you wanted to.
Well,
he would have.
I'm going to say this, and it might come off sounding really harsh and nasty. That's not how I intend it, but I want to point out again, Undercover Mother's latest community post. Again, 3 days it took her to come up with a fucking response, and this was the best you could come up with. Fucking pathetic. But talking about how there's all of this incredible worldwide support for Frankie. Well, it doesn't seem to be in the term of monetary support, because if that was really the fucking case, UCM, that $75,000 or 75,000 pound goal would have been reached a long fucking time ago.
Where is it though? Where is it?
Where's what?
I hit that support, because vocally, the only people that are even mentioning him at all anymore are people like her and etc. Her and company, right? So
the bench members have come out to play. The only ones left on the bench, because the rest of the team is fucking coward, run off, bolted, and gone into hiding.
That's why I said if you got friends like that, you don't need enemies. And I believe that's a line that AD used in a live stream that he did, that the lawyers subsequently stated was defamatory and abusive towards young Frank Rusick Jr. But he was talking about Martin Dehan in that case. With friends like that, you don't need enemies. You really don't, because he's doing everything he can to fuck it up for you. Yeah. Yep. They've done everything. So again, going back in time, I think a lot of people would have done things a lot differently, but not one person could have stood up and reined that fuckery in before it got out of hand. You didn't
Cassius,
have interest.
Are you talking about UCM? Sorry, Sam. Cassius asked, why was it never promoted on her channel? That always will bemuse me until...
Oh, bemuse? Wait.
Bemuse me until I get told. If you're talking about UCM, that's actually a very great point. But if you look back at, she was another one, along with Helen Schaefer, Martin Dehan.
That were involved.
That not only were purposely not part of the planning committee, but didn't even actively participate at all in any part of that weekend.
Oh, that's right.
Martin Dehan's fucking stolen falling off an e-bike bullshit fucking footage. you know, that was just a load of fucking. I know Roberta Armour always likes to bring up that stupidity every time she can. So there's your in, Roberta, give her. But other than that, I mean, it was, you know, not one of them fucking actively participated, you know, while the rest of us stayed up all fucking weekend. You know, what was it? 35,000 that was collected alone of that entire, 58 or 59,000? Like Sam said, I mean, if you look at it in full perspective, that's an awful lot of fucking money from a really tiny fucking corner of YouTube. And might I just also say that same very tiny corner of YouTube also seems to contain the most unstable, batshit crazy, unpredictable, void of character fucking excuses for human beings I have ever come across in my entire lifetime, real and on social media. And I am not kidding when I say that.
Okay, I just came back in, so I heard the last of that.
Well, I'm not repeating it for you. That's what really.
No, I don't want you to. I get the gist of it, though. I
was shouty and angry at you.
Shouty, angry Jen. Oh no, I missed it.
Okay, yes,
no, actually, that's what I was talking about with the money. So it came for support, right? The built-in support was here. That's where I was going with that. I did get off topic. I got a little confused. I'm sorry. So
and
they
that
already had
a
base of support when they got here. Which, you know.
Hi, Brian. Sorry, I'm saying hi to Brian. Sheila's in the house. Carry on.
Hi.
Stop interrupting her, Jen.
I remember there seemed a breakdown of communication at the worst times as well. Would that be me dropping off on purpose? No, probably not.
No, I think
no. Okay, so yeah, those people that were going to continue.
Not all about you, Salty, all the time.
Yeah, I know that did continue. We're not part of any of the stuff that happened back. You know, when we were, when all the lawsuit was going into Crowd Justice Fund and copyrights and all of that. None of them were involved. So it was interesting that it was the ones that were not involved in any way, shape, or form that were vocal or wanted to be vocal, but what they were doing was attacking people here. Mm-hmm. And those were the ones in the end that Frank Rusek was publicly supporting and giving them those little gold stars, right? So those that were in the know and knew exactly what happened took off. They were gone. They were quiet. And then they couldn't say anything because they had to be quiet, remember? So what was going to happen if they did come back out and say anything? Right?
I think it boils down to they never expected you and I to not fucking and Bam as well to just keep quiet.
Well, Bam wasn't a part of that either.
No, but I mean in terms of vocally calling out Claire Morgan.
Yeah, but when you talk about the motive behind people saying anything at all from the get-go, mine was just for transparency and to tell you why AD got his channel back. And this time he's not. Okay.
Well, again, and I bring that back to what I said. What I said on my Goodbye, Don't Cry, We For Sure Won't stream there 10 days ago was that when have we ever seen any of his channels show the official YouTube termination? Never until September 20th.
Yeah.
Just saying.
If anybody, there are a few things that, with the particulars claim, the paperwork that was filed on March 10th.
6.5 months ago.
One thing I did say that night, the last stream we did, when Frank Rusek during that put up that community post, he didn't mention AD.
Nope.
He
or
didn't
mention his lawyers. How often
didn't
y'all
mention his lawyers?
Yep.
Do y'all know why that is now?
I've never seen a more ambiguous fucking post in my life.
Yeah. Because they're not his lawyers. They're not.
And they didn't take AD down.
They didn't take AD down. No.
I mean, really, as I said, and I'm going to say this again, probably a good thing that didn't try using specific name. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's so ridiculous that. So in the 2 years that Cohen Davis has been retained, all they've done is, serve a claim on AD March 10th, almost 2 years later, but cost the public so far 59,000 pounds, but needs to be 75,000 pounds in order to get YouTube to enforce their own terms of service violations to take AD down. Yeah, I'm going to say bullshit.
He also wanted the profits from all of that content.
Yeah.
Of AD's
everything.
Content. He wanted
including
all of the profits. He didn't want them removed. Because the views on 5 videos in particular, and one was very low. I mean, a majority of all of them, you know, the views weren't high. But one of the things, yeah, he wanted the future profits off of all of that content of AD. He didn't want it removed. He wanted the money from it and future earnings from it.
No, there was a request for an injunction.
Oh no, but I mean there were other things, but I'm just saying that when it came to AD and content, with the content that is non-fucking existent anymore, and those that are re-uploading old content that has anything to do with Armchair Detective, that is considered torturous to young Rusek Jr. and at the time his lawyer. Make that make sense. Anyway, but they're yeah, they wanted relief. They didn't file a cease and desist or an injunction. They wanted one. They couldn't get one. So yeah, that was the worst thing that could have happened.
Yeah,
for him. You
know, and that's again, you know, I mean, I know hindsight's 2020, but it kind of just brings it back to that window of opportunity for him to have actually done something. And I mean, I said that before Alan was gone, but I mean, I think that I honestly, with the complete failure of the monumental disaster that was Claire Morgan in terms of just the copyright portion, I think we all, after 2 years, you know, kind of had resigned ourselves to the fact that AD wasn't going. I mean, I guess I can only speak for myself, but it seemed to me anyways that we resigned ourselves to the fact that it didn't look like Alan was going anywhere. So talk about being blindsided when Mike started getting messages there almost a couple weeks back that Alan had actually been deplatformed. It was like, what? Plot twist!
Yeah, a really big fucking plot twist. The best thing that could have happened, though, for you pervy fraud. Best thing. And I was tongue in cheek though, and I said, hey, at least now he can't ask for money off of your content since it no longer exists. You know, so that's something. Always look at the bright side of life there. Did y'all wait? Let me see. Hold on 1 sec.
Well, here's my question. I mean, I know obviously whatever those 5 videos, obviously they would have probably copies of them, but and maybe Whiskey might be able to help answer this. Here's the question I have. And of course, we're just hypothetically speaking now, but with Anal, whatever, Alan Anal's channel is being gone now, that, in terms of his content also being wiped off the face of the YouTube platform planet, would that also entail, I mean, he won't have, what am I trying to say here? I know what I'm trying to say. I just got to spit it out. He also, Alan, you know, able to, I mean, I'm sure this is what he'll say, but he now has technically lost access to his readings of what he's made on his channel.
Well, you know, YouTube, of course, would have, as far as when it comes to the monetization and the ads and everything else, when you have a channel that's monetized, and also I want to say this for anybody still that's talking about the HMRC and fucking taxes and businesses and he can't be a director, he can't do this. YouTube is obligated by law to file certain paperwork with their taxes, and one of the things they do, they will, if the channel makes a certain amount of money, especially that is monetized, they will be getting their, basically it's an independent contractor that uses YouTube as a business, let's say. They're responsible for claiming that income because YouTube already has. So to suggest that the HMRC wouldn't know about any of that or any of his earnings from YouTube or from Patreon is simply not the case. They would know. He's still obligated to claim that, and it's already been claimed. And I don't think that he's stupid enough that he'd want to get into bigger look at the prospect of even further
Well,
financial
considering he already knows what
problems.
that's like.
If he was making the kind of money that some people think that he was making, that wasn't the case. I mean, he made money for a certain period of time, especially with donations. That's where a majority of it came from. But that dwindled off a long time ago, and that's not the case now. And in the particulars of claim, they're using that. Yeah, they're using a formula that isn't exact, and it's not proven, but they're using that formula with the views ratio to the videos that they were claiming were especially grievous. The number of subs that he had publicly.
I'm just teasing.
The number of subs that he had at the time that they filed that on March 10th. Prospective future earnings off of his collective library of Watts content. It just didn't equal out to what some people might think that it equaled out to, but they did. They were believing that the numbers would grow, that his subscribers would grow, regardless of how he was growing that base of support for future financial income. So I'm reading that. But they never wanted the content removed. They didn't ask to have it removed. They wanted the money from it.
And for him to not
retrospectively and for future revenue off of it. So in that regard, it was very much about the money as well, and paying lawyers' fees and asking for a financial settlement as well, keeping your mouth shut, a public apology. But also, nobody from that point on, not just AD, but all of his agents, that's what it said, all of AD's agents, supporters, everybody else, not mentioning anything about him. Now, you tell me how that's supposed to fucking work. All right, I'm leaving. I'm leaving. You invited her up here, damn it.
I wasn't expecting to be here. I'm in my jammies getting ready for my bed.
Well, I wasn't expecting to have you here either. Unfortunately, Salty just crashed everything. But
I'm sorry. I'm such a party paper. How you doing, hun? What's the news? What's going on?
Right.
Give us a down low.
A down low.
Or the up high.
When AD was having when AD was having his temper tantrums and wafting his paper, exactly, there were a few wafting his paperwork around from his lawyers, and at the time he was ranting and raving about Cohen, as he was holding up the documents that were from a barrister.
Yeah, that's exactly it. See, in those people, like I was seeing more and more comments in different comment sections, and including also on Lizzie's page on Facebook about, oh my gosh, he can't defame them. He can't say anything about that. He can't. Well, he can say whatever he wants. He is lying. There were times when he was saying things, right? He was. We knew he was lying. So
what I must get across is, I'm sure you all saw the rant when he was saying, wafting the barrister's document, but threatening Cohen, and he said, you're going to get it between the eyes.
Oh, I missed that one.
And shortly after, he was terminated. Now, I and Mo have talked about this a lot, and we've both come to the conclusion that when AD did that threat, the barrister picked up the phone to the legal department at YouTube, because I'm sure they have a hotline.
No.
And something was looked at and taken down. And that's why we feel he's got no chance for an appeal. He made a verbal threat to an officer of the court.
Well, he's been saying a lot of things about them for a very long time.
Yes.
That's just it. For a couple of years now.
For a long time.
Yes. So, but that's why he said he's not even their lawyer anymore. And I think, and there was a lot of things that he was saying that were very misleading, obviously, but when he's saying, oh, you know, I'm going to be doing this, or this is going to happen, or whatever, it's already done and dusted and has been.
Well, that's not,
you know. So what I mean by when he's saying Claire Morgan and what they did, and you know, all the things that are going to be happening to Claire Morgan, you know, I mean, just things that have been happening up until a point. He's just not, he wasn't being transparent. Of course he wasn't. He was saying that. That's why I said, you know, he didn't even file the paperwork. That's not the lawyer anymore. So and
what we've got is some people have been in AD's ear clearly who don't have an understanding of how far things have now gone.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, some people are in his ear saying there is no case against you. But, you know, it depends on how clever this barrister is.
Again,
you see, unfortunately, Dehan sharing everything.
Let's not confuse the fact between there's no case and there's no court date. Those are two very different things.
Yeah.
Two very, very different things. And no matter how much the defendant made over the years on YouTube, he's a gambler. When we all first met him on screen, he was a drinker and a gambler. You know, it was terrible. And we all know that people with addictions just blow whatever they have, don't they?
Gambling, drinking, and streaming all simultaneously.
Yeah. So I wasn't surprised when I heard that he was wailing, saying, they've terminated me and I can't even pay my rent. And I was like, well. Well,
YouTube doesn't pay you, Alan. You keep claiming all this time.
Exactly.
But a majority of it does come from those that do support him, and they support him financially, and that's their right to do so. If they choose to give him money, as much as I hate it, and as much as the lies that he told, in order for them to do that, no matter how awful it was that he played the people, you know, doing it, it was their choice to do so, and it is still their choice to do so.
And again, there's a big difference between those collective cult wives that know what AD is doing and want to give him money, and those people that are naive and not caught on to the fact that Alan is just fucking playing people like a fiddle.
Yeah,
two different types of people.
In the particular claim, it's interesting because there are a lot of things in there, and I know it, we know it. Let's just say Jen and I knew it at the time when we first got it. And AD has known it since March 10th, that there are things in there, and it proves that the claimant has not been transparent with a lot of people. Yeah. There are things in there that he has claimed that is just simply not true. And he signed that. Unfortunately, they filed it. Now, is it going to move forward?
How it's going to play out still remains to be seen.
No, it's
I think.
I mean,
I think that, you know, obviously they will establish that both sides don't have a penny.
Well, yeah. I think we can all collectively agree on that.
And I think, you know, pre-trial hearings, it would establish that both parties do have no assets, and then the judge can then say, well, let's take a look at the complaints, and the complaints are the harassment aspect of it, stop mentioning my family and the murder, and stop making money out of it.
Everybody, not just him.
Not just him.
Every single person that would have been on the channel, all of us, everybody.
And I think, everybody should stop.
How is that enforceable? First, it's not.
Well, it would be enforceable if Frankie's barrister could get it over the finishing line. It would be
there's that. Exactly.
You know,
if he can get it over the finishing line, there is a possibility that the judge could order that everyone is gagged from mentioning that case and the parties.
Everybody on YouTube?
They might all have to take those videos, hide them, and no longer make money from them.
There was some of it, though.
You know, in all fairness, though, if you apply that, if that happens, then that would have to, wouldn't that theoretically have to apply to every other case in the world?
Well, that's why I don't see.
Where does that line get drawn?
Yeah. Yeah. He, you know, one of the things, it's like when he was speaking about his inability to run a business because he's harassed from AD and all of AD's supporters, and it's torture for when he has to see the content and people re-upload it and people share it. He can't he can't establish a business.
But he already had the business, so how can,
which he already had it, you know, the fact that he was suffering now because of AD and all of us here on YouTube, and I'm going to say all of us, because, you know, if all of us re-uploaded his content, you know, we fed into that, and we were enabling that torture to continue, legally speaking, as they put it, that it caused him to be diagnosed with anxiety and depression.
But he says in one of his where did whiskey go?
But we already knew that he already
I
had
didn't pick her, I swear, I only kicked Sam. But
he already had those issues, right?
Yeah, so, but he says in the interview with, well, I can't remember, I guess it was FBI, CBI, that he had
they used that
already.
Yeah, the FBI interview. They used that in that particular claim, just so y'all know. That AD showed it to everybody on YouTube, and because it had his phone number in it, that everybody started calling him. And
in theory should have been redacted by the fucking FBI.
Everybody was calling him and they were harassing him, and then he started getting threats and all of that. But we know that information had already been out. If people were doing that, then that's just awful. But it didn't fall on AD to redact something that was publicly available.
Right.
And he even states in that he was diagnosed with depression and anxiety disorder and other things. So for him to walk back and say that AD and his supporters and all of us here on YouTube caused that to happen by re-uploading his content, that infuriated me. It really did.
Well, and the other thing, and again, this isn't, you know, I feel like I say this till I'm fucking blue in the face, which is why I probably don't even need to bother saying it anymore. It's not about, you know, I'm supporting Alan now. It's about having a fucking frank and open discussion about what's really fucking going on, and not tippy-toeing and walking on eggshells and not saying something because it might, you know, it might not be received properly. But where does, and again, I'm not trying to diminish anything, or I'm not saying one thing for one side or the other, but let's look at this logically. Where do you line, or where do you apply the blame that on Alan? At what point does it all fall squarely on Alan's shoulders, the trauma and so forth and so on that Frankie would be experiencing? How can you compartmentalize? That word, I don't know why I can't say that word, but what she said. How do you place that blame solely on Alan as opposed to the actual murders themselves?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. There's whiskey. There we go.
There was a question in chat just before Salty spoke. Salty's absolutely right. The re-uploading just falls into AD's hands of, look, you know, even when I try to start afresh, this is what they do.
They're doing.
Well, day one, Alan was on Rumble. There they fucking were.
Yeah. And over the years, Dehan's done an awful lot of things that have backfired on the Ruseks, hasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
And in the end, backfired on him too.
Yeah.
Fucking.
So, Salty's absolutely right. This is playing into AD's defense or his counter.
Exactly, especially
he's
when
the one being pursued.
Yeah, when that's categorically stated throughout, that the constant re-uploading of and having to see his face and having to hear all of that from him. Now he's coming onto YouTube. AD is gone, but y'all are re-uploading the content, the new stuff that he's putting out over on a different platform because he has.
It's not even AD's people fucking doing it.
So,
and you know, this is something Sam has pointed out and said for a long time, long before Alan was terminated off YouTube, after, you know, after the crowd justice and so forth, like you've always said, Sam, you know, why basically I'll sum it up in my nutshell, but why can't people just let it play out?
Yes. Now's the time.
continue.
Now is the time for everyone to stop.
Let it play out. Let it just play out the way it's supposed to play out. Instead, no, we have people like fucking Scissorhands, Martin, Alan, all of them continuing with the multiple uploads, the multiple community posts, day after fucking day after day, with the same shit that's already been uploaded and debunked for the last fucking 5 years. Talk about goddamn insanity.
Yeah. So the barrister will aim high, and he will aim for, I want everyone to stop talking about this case and making money about this case, because now it's been re-uploaded, a whole load of new people are talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
That would be highly unlikely for him to win, because you can't stop people from talking about crime and justice, because in our countries, at least in the United States and Canada and Great Britain, it's supposed to be a freedom of information to an extent, and you're supposed to be able to watch justice play out.
And again, had he just stuck to the actual facts, which is what true crime is to begin with, he wouldn't be in this position.
We wouldn't be here. Yeah, we would. If he hadn't been doing the scamming and the conning and the lying, we wouldn't be here. So I think the barrister will aim high, knowing he won't get a blanket across the platforms that you can't talk about that case. But I think it might open dialogue up for something else for the judge to consider, which would be a conversation with the platform to come to an agreement to no longer monetize. What should we call us? Well, we're just amateur sleuths, aren't we? We're amateur crime. So if the likes of all of us couldn't get monetized for talking about crime, and you actually had to have credentials and prove that you know your research and know how to deliver it,
YouTube would be a ghost town.
Well, it kind of would. Everyone would fuck off to Rumble, wouldn't they? Because this is what they want. They want it to continue. There's a group of people that want it to continue.
Well, and by what they're doing, by the re-uploading all of his shit on Rumble, and then the re-uploading and promoting and advertising that the genuine Ruzek supporters, again, I'm always using air quotes when I say that, you can't see them, but I am, are doing, it just further proves that small collective group of misfits don't want this to ever end.
Yeah.
No.
Can I just say that the close personal friends of the Ruseks, who we don't see around now, they clearly are not as close to the Ruseks as they think they are, because if they were, they would know how close Frankie is to making this happen.
But I've said that. Why? I always said that during my other live streams, that if you go forward in helping him, absolutely go forward in a positive way in helping him see this to the end. But it shouldn't.
And they keep bringing it to a whole new disgraceful.
They were just doing everything they could to fucking sabotage it, and they were getting validation from each other. Good one. That's right. That's right. Call her Harry. Call them traitors and rats, and take photos from their Facebook and put them on YouTube. That's it.
Yeah, I mean,
it's always been a valid argument.
When we started to call out Dehan out,
when was that? How long ago was that?
It's got to be about 2.5 years now.
God, because I didn't. I sort of remember when I first found you was, I think, just around the time when you first called out Claire back, whatever. That would have been May 2 years ago. I mean, obviously I knew Mo from before, but you, I had no. And then when that happened, of course, I was still stuck in that.
Well, of course,
and I'm like, oh, you're trouble with me. I don't want nothing to do with you. And now, well, here we are today. Right.
Before you go on, can I say something really quick before I forget to say it completely?
No.
Okay. When it comes to the Crowd Justice Fund, we've said that we, Jen and I joke about it. We're the keepers of the Crowd Justice Fund. Damn it. We've always had to come out and tell people the money was going where they're going, blah, blah, blah. I want this to, I hope everybody I want this to sink in. In that particular claim that was filed on March 10th, a majority of the examples of harassment or abuse that he's gotten, the defamation, the slander, the libel, all of it stems from what AT is saying about the Crowd Justice Fund itself. Which that really pissed me off because it wasn't about the content. Nope. No. It wasn't all about the content. It was mostly about what he was saying with the Crowd Justice Fund. And one of that was that he was not forthcoming when he said, I've never been in trouble. And he's saying that I've been arrested and that I'm, that I have a record.
You've got to own your shit. If you're going to put your face out there on social media, if you've got skeletons, you need to line them all up and get them out there.
You see the irony of it? That's actually in that documentation that was filed with the court. That he's putting out mistruths about us funding this lawsuit through deception or suggesting it's fraudulent or suggesting any of these things about that fund in particular. And that's that pissed me off more than anything, because you can take all of the content that AD has ever made, all of the things that he has ever said about Frank Rusak Jr., and all of it was completely, almost all of it completely dismissed. And he's suing primarily based on what AD has said about the Crowd Justice Fund, which is the truth. That he lied on it. That he was a little deceptive. He wasn't transparent and he wasn't forthcoming from the get-go. Okay, so now I'm going to mute and y'all can go back to talking about Martin Dehef, the Mr. Can't Get Right. There you go.
That can also apply. I mean, whether it would have any effect on the case or not, I don't know. But the whole Claire Morgan thing. Am I still here?
Yes.
Yeah, it's me.
Okay. That was a place. I was like, oh.
Bloody Americans over here flying the jets because they're doing night maneuvers. It interrupts with all of our communications here because we're so close to the US Air Base.
Yeah.
So obviously things are heating up over in
damn fucking Yankees.
Yeah. And there were 5 videos that they used, little snippets of just a few seconds.
It wasn't just 2, Alan. It was 5.
Yeah, it was 5.
Can I just interject there? I want people to understand that the document that Alan got was just a small window to whet the judge's appetite. The argument is not just on those 5 videos. Those are the 5 examples in the
one that you're talking about, Whiskey. That's not the particulars of claim that was filed on the 10th. The one that he was showing that you're referencing, that was the first document that he got originally from Cohen Davis. Right. So that was the first one. So what was it? What's the technical name for it? Because the second is particular claim. What was the first one?
Well, the second was they were wanting to go into mediation, which obviously
the first one was what it was. Yeah, he wasn't showing that one. The things that he was showing, none of that was from the paperwork that was filed with the court on March 10th. So I just
sorry, I believe it was in his Patreon that he did it.
What do you do in his Patreon? I'm getting
the one he was showing that. I know. Actually, it wasn't. It was like one of the videos
over in Rumble behind his paywall. He's obviously begging hard,
And
sorry, AD, people are watching that you don't want watching, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it's not like
he's used to that anyway.
We have to expose him. He's been fucking exposed. And exposed a whole lot of other shit. So the continued content about him, let's say, or the continued stuff, especially if people going over there and re-uploading his content, I think it's kind of creepy and stalkerish myself.
It's psychotic.
But it's crazy. It just shows. I mean, y'all really do want AD, and you need AD because he's not on YouTube anymore, and you should be glad about that. He's been exposed. There's nothing left to do. Your job here is fucking done.
Exactly. it blows my mind that this is actually even happening. I mean, it just further proves what we've been saying all this time, that they're not in it.
They don't want it to stop. They don't want it to stop.
Yeah.
It doesn't. You can't get any more proof than those people actually showing their own actions, proving it themselves.
There you go.
Right. I don't, making money in Patreon way back in the day, or collectively trying to estimate how much he made through donations and monetization on all of his channels, on the different live streams, on everything. It's completely inconsequential. That money is gone. He's not ever going to be making that money again. That's what he made a long time ago. Now, to show the depth that he went to make it, everybody knows that already.
His current situation is very, very poor, to be honest. Because, as you know, he was self-employed. He was self-employed all these years. He's got 400
people. He's got 400 people that have followed him to Rumble, out of 100,000 self-professed supporters. I mean, that alone. This is now what, 11 days, almost 2 weeks later. Mm-hmm. That again, there is another clear-cut indication of what Alan's actual real fan base is, and that is. It makes no fucking sense. All it's doing is continuing, as we've said, to sabotage.
So sinister to me. It's so fucking creepy and sinister. The levels that people go to continue to talk about this man that's no longer on this platform, that y'all really want to continue doing.
Well, all it is a sick and twisted source of entertainment.
Well, before my internet kicking me out. Before my internet kicked me out the last time, I was going to say to you ladies that
y'all were talking about can't get right. I'm going to mute real quick. I'm listening.
That what people don't seem to know or understand is that the damage that Martin Dehaan has done to every single person who tried to do the right thing from the very beginning.
I'm glad you said that. We said that yesterday, I think, Ben and I, that we were destined to fail because of him from the very get-go. Before anything with the Crowd Justice Fund or any of that, we were destined to fucking fail because of him and the others later on.
For people like Whiskey. People like Whiskey, Daphne, Karen Paradoxes that have watched this unfold for even longer than you and I have, Sam. I mean, we've been here a long time, but those guys, just reading their comments about them going back before any of us were here creating videos. I mean, it just talk about the wildest roller coaster ride ever.
I know I've got some more links that I do need to send to you, Jen, to do some more of your own research, because I think it's best that you ladies find it, read it, and come to your own conclusions and discuss it, because Mo and I are well aware that our opinions aren't needed, wanted, or required. So anything we say carries no weight. All I can do is send you links to where we've ended up so that you can see what we've been seeing, and we'll try and help you all get along to the finishing line on this.
Well, it's greatly appreciated. And Spiro, hang on a sec, Sam. Spiros, there's no need to be rude in my chat. I'm not intentionally cutting Whiskey off. Her internet is cutting in and out. So she is speaking. I'm not collectively trying to actively interrupt her. So you could be a little bit more polite. Thank you.
Sorry, it is my internet, and they don't normally do night flying at the weekend, so I'm guessing that they might be doing some nighttime operational flights over to Ukraine from here. So I do apologize. It's me getting kicked out. And
then I tried to be a little bit of a lag.
No, I was told that I need to let you. Yeah, I got a for fuck's sake.
It's not you, it's me, Jen.
Angry shouty Jen. Okay.
So with what you ladies have experienced, because we weren't involved when you ladies stepped up to do what you did for the Rusek family with the fundraising. I mean, that weekend was phenomenal. And it's just unfortunate that when I tried to flag him as being the sort of person none of us should be talking to, I clearly picked the wrong time and the wrong way to do it, because I failed, didn't I? And I regret that, because my failure to communicate that has caused a lot more pain. If I could have
if you want to say that, Whiskey, then by that rationale, I should have started saying a lot of things a lot sooner about, I was vocal about Dehan for a very long time. I didn't agree with the shit that he was doing and all of that. He was always, he was extreme. He was a big fucking liability. But that, we can't go back and say, coulda, woulda, shoulda. That's why I said a lot of people I think would do a lot of things a lot differently. But you mentioned again the Crowd Justice Fund, and we did a phenomenal job, right? Yes, yeah, we did. But him, for it to have come to that he was even mostly using that in his Crowd Justice Fund, and what people were saying about it on YouTube. It was all of us saying things. It wasn't just AD. It was a lot of different people going about it in very different ways. Even though we were trying to say the same things, we say things differently. But with that, to say that people are doing what they can to sabotage, that's in there, to sabotage future efforts in his fundraising process. Are you kidding me? Are you fucking serious? Who did more to sabotage the fundraising process than people like Can't Get Right and company, especially by the time they gave those fraudulent fucking donations in other people's names on that publicly? The people that were still supporting him by attacking and harassing other people here that were wanting and expecting transparency and accountability. To use AD to say the AD is halting the fundraising process. Are you fucking kidding me?
No, I mean, AD's...
After the fuckery with the malicious Crowd Justice donations, then you have that same collective group of morons actively promoting and supporting battery acids, pedo fucking nonskate. I mean... Hawk
the Crowd Justice Fund. It's going to pay off his lawyer's fees. But that got me again, because they're using that in that particular claim to say the AD was doing everything he could to sabotage it. And that's fucking bullshit. When you have people like Dehan and his friends on here doing everything they could to fucking sabotage, it got so bad because the people that were asking questions about it at the very beginning to want to know that Claire didn't fuck everything up to hell and back, those are the ones that started getting attacked. Now, where it ended up is where it ended up.
And then you get the ones that support the family with the so what in the lawsuit.
Fuck no.
So the damage that Claire Morgan did was obviously what we all know. She lied. However, the real damage was done when I think Mo and I were going quite hard at Claire at the time, and I think Mrs. Rusek did a video where she referenced Claire as being a lawyer in England who was helping the family. So that bolstered everybody on the truth side, believing that Claire was legitimate for another couple of years. But here we are now. They know unequivocally that what we said about Claire was absolutely true. All you should have needed was her to come forward and say, we're horrified. Our family, our trauma has been hijacked by a bunch of idiots who just wanted clicks, likes, and shares.
Yeah.
But we didn't hear that. She should have come out and said, I would never have said she was a lawyer. I believed she was a lawyer. I'm as outraged as you lot are. But you never got that, did you?
Nope. It was just one mistruth after another, actually.
And then you all become evil souls like us. Welcome to the dark side.
Well, we've been here for quite a bit now.
I'm thinking of selling sage bundles in
but
my
in the end,
merch.
this doubling down, saying nothing.
Yeah.
Yes.
But the
I mean, that's
this whole doubling down and not acknowledging Claire at all, and actually lying worse, it's actually been far more detrimental for them in the end than it has been for us. It doesn't change anything in our lives.
Yes.
No, it doesn't.
And the other thing that, you know, really hasn't been addressed is, why are people like Grumpy Granny and Lego Hair doing videos, putting stuff up with Adie's face and the worst paedophile in British history's face, and making
Are they still doing that?
Yeah. Yeah. So we've got Grumpy Granny this week doing it, thinking it's hilarious. So, and she works in the education system, so that's a bit backed up, don't you think?
Wow.
So you've got Dehan operating other people.
Well, you know, I've never made a secret about how I feel about that. I've said it publicly quite often, and too many times that I should never. Yeah, we should never have to come out and stick up for Herbie Fraud the fact that he's not a pedophile. Or it's creepy. You know, there was a lot of things that when you take his Google search, you take everything collectively and you put it together. Yeah, skeezy as hell. But how can you sit here and compare him to men that cause such trauma and harm to actual people? You know, when
over a 50-year period,
it's just,
how many victims do you think that awful person has had in Britain?
Okay, let's forget about the aesthetic and what it looks like. What is it that you're comparing him to? What is the motive here? Why would you do that? Why would you suggest that he's?
I'm glad you brought it up, Salty, because if you've all got Google and you look up some articles about a gentleman called Anders Breivik, and you read some of the stories about him and how, I mean, he's not a good guy by any means, and the story doesn't end well, but you find that Dehan has referenced that case many times 5 years ago when he was trying to establish himself as top dog.
Wow.
And that how involved he was in the online, well, he said takedown. I would argue online activity that switched the psycho back on.
He really is. I mean, he really is obsessed about this. He has tendencies where they, should I say obsessed? Yeah. Okay. Obsesses about people. His behavior is so far over the line. It's troubling. He's always misled people. He's always lied to people. Nobody ever wanted accountability from him. There's none to be had. I think it's creepy. I
never corrected anything. He was not even, and I'm talking about before I started fucking calling his motherfucking sad, pathetic, creepy, stalking coward ass out. Even when, you know, back in the time where somebody would make a comment pointing out something wrong about a video, he would never fucking address anything. As far as he's concerned, he doesn't do anything wrong, never acknowledges or addresses anything, is certainly never fucking apologized for anything. I mean, it's a sad, fucking pathetic life he lives.
His activity over on Twitter was quite prolific from about 2011. He boasts a lot. He inserts himself into threads and says he's the big man who helped take down Alex Jones. He's the big man who helped with the Onision takedown. He's the big man who brought down Anders Breivik. I argue you didn't bring him down, you fucking triggered him. He has used accusing people of those kind of interests in children prolifically in the past on Twitter.
So that's the one thing that he could do that would trigger people enough to forego their own critical thought and just immediately, boom, assume the worst. So that's what, again, is it the aesthetic? What is it that you're trying to portray? What is it that you're trying to say there? Like, again, tell us he's a pedo by telling us he's not one, essentially.
That you're a
what is it?
Coward,
what is your aim? What is your end game? Is it to expose him for what? The skeevy con man that he is, that he lies to make money, or he manipulates vulnerable people, that he does this, he does that, but comparing him to people like Jimmy Savile or Harvey Weinstein or Bill Cosby bears what? What are you saying? I don't get it. It's gross. It's nasty. It's dangerous.
It's disgusting.
He's been doing it for 5 years.
And he's done it longer than that.
I'm asking
other people.
I'm asking Anita now, what is your motive? Why are you doing this? Why are you wanting to compare him to people like Jimmy Savile? What is it that you want people to do? What is it that you want people to say? What is it that you really want people to think? And what's your end game there? What's the goal? What's the purpose of doing that? Especially when he's not on YouTube. When he's gone.
But at the end of the day, I mean, it's if you look at Mr. fucking spineless coward punk ass bitch there claiming, the lies of claims of taking down Alex Jones, don't fuck with cats, Onision.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, didn't even fucking make a dent in 5 years into a nobody loan.
No.
Not a fucking
He's a
dent.
fucking creepy.
So again.
Yeah. So what he did was, when he crept in, he had obviously had practice at this, so it was very easy for him to work out where he could bully someone and work his way up the totem pole. And if you remember, he accused Norman of being like Jimmy Savile.
Did he?
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah.
When was
that? Right at the beginning.
When? Okay.
So, there was a lot of false hatred towards Norman, driven by Dehan. He was also called racist, and things were put on his Facebook that he hadn't put on. And this man was, he was in the last years, months, weeks, days of his life when this was going on.
And y'all know that he made videos about me weekly, calling me a cyber terrorist, and I was going to jail. So
exactly. So there's been a lot of fuckery from both sides,
Norman,
and it now needs to be. We need to deal with facts and evidence, don't we? Because we've now learned that a lot of people have said a lot of things and made some bold statements, and here we are 5 years down the line.
That's the whole problem. Alan, people like Dehan, they don't deal in facts and truth, which is why we're all here to begin with.
Neither did Norman. There's several people here, or that were here, that never did. They had that in common, though. They all had that in common, that they would say, this is truthful, believe me, they're this. They put out the accusations, say this about this one, and it was just, I have proof, and I have this, and I'm speaking the truth here, and everything else in between. They all had a lot of things in common. But Dehan, what did I say the other day? He's just a shitmonger and dickbag, he's creepy.
I think he's worse than that, to be honest, Salty. Can I just refresh
it nicely? I think, because it's Sunday.
There's something I want to refresh everybody's memories on. Very early on, when Dehan seemed to be the new sheriff in town and everybody was falling for his stories. Do you remember him teaching? He put videos up teaching people how to do their online security and such like. Well, he made a video telling everyone to watch AD, and when you see somebody do a super chat, if you press the Windows key and the R key simultaneously, it captures the donator's IP address, and he had everyone doing it. And then he said, and you can forward those IP address to the authorities in your area if you like, or you could send it to me. And so they did. So
that's something I've always found, ridiculous and funny about Martin, Mr. fucking technical background. Him and the showing of IP addresses. Like his latest one was that stupid video that he put on his Tech Insider. Apparently had captured the IP address of that Mike Cunt. Well, first of all, of course, it was a network address with a MAC address. Well, you would need to know where this fucking person lives and what fucking network they connect to, first of all, and which fucking device was theirs before you could even capture any of that. So I'm going to call bullshit.
It's not dangerous to just have somebody's IP, but if you then establish an online friendship with them, if they have a YouTube channel, you can see what the YouTube channel email address is. So then you've got an IP and an email, so it gets a little bit more exciting. And then you chat and chat and chat, and you get love bombed, and they think it's going to be my best mate, this fella. And then before you know,
now he's got your email address. He's got your email address for when he turns on. It again.
Yeah, and he's got your IP address, and he's got your WhatsApp. So anyone who is a decent coder, software engineer, app developer, with those three things, could have access to absolutely every digital device of that person's they want.
Yeah, but he can't even change the damn font and color on his fucking videos with you. I don't think he's that.
Well, believe it, that kind of information is very valuable.
It is, but people like him can't get it. That's just he likes to pretend a whole lot of things, but that's
we did test it. We did test it, and the Windows R does work.
The Windows R?
Yeah, if you press the Windows key and the R on someone who's actually just doing a super chat, they have to be live and they have to be doing a super chat. Windows key and R, and you will get the IP address there and then. And that's how so many people have been experiencing so many problems ever since, because this isn't just Dehan. There's a whole team of them doing it.
Well, I don't give him that much credit. That's just my opinion.
I have nothing to say on that. I don't do super chats. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I find that very hard to believe that would be the case. Windows R, pulls up the run command normally. If that was such a massive, that's basically a massive exploit that, you would think YouTube would have taken care of a long time ago if it really. I can't add anything to it because
wouldn't you? But you have to remember who he worked for.
But did he really though, Whiskey, or is that him just talking out his fucking ass again?
He did actually work for that firm, yes.
Yeah, I'm not.
Well, I don't know. It could be the
everything Martin has come. Everything that's coming out of Martin's mouth has been nothing but fantastical lies. So I don't believe a fucking thing he says.
Well, exactly. We don't know why he wants to do this, but it's sinister. It's nasty. He's been creeping around.
You don't want anything good to happen. That goes without saying.
No,
when you're
Martin
looking at people's shit offline, you don't want anything good to happen. You don't care. There's nothing good going to happen from any of that content.
That's why satisfaction out of making other people's life fucking miserable. That's his sick and twisted source of entertainment, is making other people's lives miserable or trying to.
Which was a whole lot more prolific and visible than any support that he gave Frank Russo Jr. or that family ever. You did more to damage his cause and the cause that we were all here for to begin with than you can possibly imagine. And those that at the end propped him up and continued it and started doing the same things that he was doing for the drama, and because you're obsessed with people on YouTube, take AD out of the equation, because AD was incidental to them. It was about each other, about the shit with each other, and about the people here.
And it was personal, and it was long before the crime here ever happened. Yes.
Yeah. So it's disturbing and creepy and gross. It really is.
So, everybody should really review their security. We know that he had involvement with organizations of ethical
fucking
hackers.
ass handed to him by all of the women that he tried to fucking intimidate and scare.
Yeah.
Oh God,
not just women.
Everybody.
He would do pretty horrific threatening things to males as well.
Yeah, he has. So Cassius isn't a woman. I take that back. You're right.
And the one thing that I would just say is that to create an account over there to continue to harass and stalk somebody after they were taken off of this platform or removed from this platform is really fucking creepy and stalkerish, and it just shows an obsession that I will never understand it. I don't want to. And you're doing everything you can to show that you are obsessed and that you need him and that you want him. It's that simple.
If he
and
cared
Grumpy Granny, shame on you for putting
family,
that out.
he would have done this.
Shame on
if
you.
If he cared for that family and considered what the impact would be, he wouldn't have done that. That's not helping the family, is it? Uploading all of it again and getting the ball going again. But we don't understand what hold he has on the family.
He doesn't have.
I don't think he gives a shit. He doesn't give a fucking shit about anybody.
He was hiding behind that. He was using that fan. He was using Frank Rusek Jr.
Like a lot of other people.
And that would be the time to distance themselves, wouldn't it?
It would have been.
Particularly Frankie, as he's got this going on. It would be time to distance himself from people that he has since discovered were fakes, frauds, liars, interlopers.
Well, especially considering, I mean, he was very actively, constantly under his fucking channel. I mean,
that's important to note in that particular claim. You know, when he said that one instance of defamation, when he said, with friends like this, you don't need enemies, Young Jr., he was referencing, he was talking about Martin Dehan. So obviously we know the long history there with Dehan and his obsession with people here on YouTube, even before they were on YouTube. That this man that they made reference to in those court documents, those legal documents, has a history of stalking him and doxing him and making videos about him, especially comparing him or referring to him, wanting to make it look like he is a child sex trafficker and a pedophile. And that now he's off the platform doing it on the other platform that man is on. That, how can you support that? How can you think that's helping in any, or that it was going to be helpful in any way, shape, or form? Well, and that nobody would hold him accountable for it. The people that were still here vocally supporting him and his douchebaggery, why didn't y'all ever hold him accountable for his fuckery? Why?
To be honest, Mo and I did mention it.
Well, no, I'm talking about after everything. I'm talking about after March 10th. With all of the videos and the homophobic slurs and the pedo bullshit and the black bed bullshit and about 80s daughters bullshit and attacking people here and people that you still claim to support too, that y'all never would hold him accountable for it, and that you ever thought that anything good would come from it and that it was helpful. You were pretending to be doing it on behalf of Frank Rusek Jr. and his legal pursuit against Armchair Detective.
I mean, if I was Frankie, I would dissociate from every single one of them that's had a hand in the Battery Boy stuff and the Rumble stuff. He needs to say, not our clowns, not our circus.
He's gone. His visibility got less and less here because how bad it was with everything with Claire, and then how things were going legally until one day he just really stopped doing anything, and then every 6 months maybe make an update about something. And the last one being,
but people like Schaefer and Dehan that are delivering that abuse are fucking despicable. The ones that are permitting it and act like nothing is wrong, those supporters, their hands aren't clean either. In fact, they're probably just as bad, if not worse. Sorry, I know we're all crossing each other. I know my internet kind of kicked in and out. I'm not trying to talk over you guys intentionally.
No, I know that. I'm used to that.
I do it to Salty all the time, but.
Yeah, I'm used to it.
I know. Yeah, there seems to be an extra.
But I'm asking Grumpy. I mean, what is it that what are you trying to do? What are you doing by trying to make it look like he's a pedophile? Do you realize the damage or the harm that can come from that? I mean, it's You have years of making anti-AD content, and he's gone now. Those that would continue in any way, shape, or form to put out quote unquote AD content, they'll have crossed the line. It's harassment. It's as simple as that. He's not here anymore. He's gone. He's not going to be making any money on this platform. What supporters he has, he has. What money he gets, he gets.
And certainly not going to be any millionaire with 400 people on Rumble.
It's just harassment. It's just straight up fucking creepy. And
it's a psychotic fucking fixation.
Yeah, it's something that if I would advise everybody to just distance yourselves from anyone that's involved in that activity, because it's unhinged.
It really is. I think that's a kick in the ass too for all of us. It did start out for the right reasons. There's no way to come back from this. I can't hear anybody saying, just we have to remember why we're all here in the first place. The man that brought us together is gone. So everything, I mean, it just seems like it's a slap in the face to especially to someone, let's just say Frank Rusick Jr.
Well, and this is where
the re-upload of the content. Come on. Yeah. I'm getting
But this is where, again, I call out fucking Undercover Misfit with her stupid community post about the support around the world trying to set a precedence. What precedence is that, UCM? The one where you're actively fucking harassing Alan now? Calling him a pedophile, promoting and advertising for fucking creepy, sick fucks like Martin Dehan and battery acid? That's a real great precedence you're setting there, you fucking idiot.
So
there are a lot of people that have consistently kicked themselves in the ass by the things that they're doing, and they don't. I think that they're so far in this bubble, they don't even realize
they don't consider the impact, do they?
They don't.
They never have. But it's.
I don't think they really fucking care one way or the other. It doesn't fucking if I mean there's the situation of doing something and actually being, say, ignorant and not being aware of the impact. But when you've been blatantly made aware of the impact and you continue to exhibit and do those same actions and behavior, you don't give a.
No.
I've just been asked a question in your chat by Sheila.
Yeah.
She wants to know if I can give all of what we've got so far on Dehan to Darzan to help his legal case. Darzan, we legally can't just send it, but if your lawyer was to email me or Mo and ask for it to be put through his portal, we wouldn't deny that for sure. We would comply to help you.
Are you able, Darzan, at all to provide any update? Totally understandable. If not, just asking. If not, no worries.
But we would, yes, Sheila, we would assist any appropriate professional approach, anything that we have that may support what's happened to some of you in here. Yeah.
See, that's called doing things above board.
But it's breaking the law. I'm not allowed to do that. I'm not allowed to share.
That's what I mean, though. Things are being done above board, unlike the behavior of other people. They've just gone lower and lower and lower.
Yeah. And that's what's so disappointing, because it should have been the end, and we should have all been able to go off and live our lives. You know, he's gone. That's it. Game over. But
it should have been the case on March 10th when he made that update on March 10th, saying, "Yay, things are moving forward." Whatever. Regardless, it should have ended there and let it all play out. But I hated the idea in the fact that there were people here that were promoting themselves as a genuine Rusick supporter when the case was that they didn't know anything that had ever happened, and they were continually doing everything they could to sabotage whatever future that case did have. So to know how it did play out, and you've seen it, the short of, I mean, there were fewer places for Rusick to come out and speak comfortably. Okay, let's start with that. People were making videos that were really completely fucky. And those didn't have anything to do with AD anyway. And for a little while, he was complacent, or not complacent. He was complicit in that, and he was commenting still. And it culminated in him saying, with Emerald Kimmy, when he was calling everybody hate-filled bitches, and he said that we lied about Claire doing that, publicly lying about that not happening, which just wasn't the case.
8 months after the fact.
Yeah, after that occurred,
Martin
that's when everything really, everything was pretty much done at that point.
Yeah.
But those that wanted to promote, again, themselves as being those genuine Rusex supporters, why couldn't y'all ever just publicly be accountable?
Yeah.
Why did y'all have to continue the harassment? Why did y'all have to get ugly about it? And to see now that people are still calling him a pedophile and talking shit like that, shame on you. You make me sick. You were never here for the truth. You were never here for that family. And you've never done the right thing.
No.
And again, that's the whole cause. The whole cause is lost when it comes down to only holding Alan to account.
Yeah.
Accountability, veracity, integrity. Fuck that over here on this side. Well, not we said fuck that. We'll call it. We started out, like I said to you, Sam, the other day, we started out, 4 years ago, calling out AD. And in the end, we've ended up fucking exposing the fucking freaks and psychos on this side of things.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we've got the algorithm
never expected that. Totally never would have seen that coming a mile away or would have predicted that happening when we started ever. But I wouldn't, wouldn't want to go through this again, and I don't plan on it, but I would do the same fucking thing all over again. Why the hell do you freaks think it's okay that only Alan is held to account, that anything, there's no accountability, no acknowledging, no, just throwing out. I mean, if everything, as I've said before, if everything was so above board, there would have been no need for any of your fuckery. The end by Jen.
P.S. by Salty. Suck our dicks. How about that? I haven't said that in a while. Suck our dicks.
So, yeah, I mean, I do think Frankie's barrister will aim very high, in my opinion. I think
they did 6 months ago. Yeah, they tried.
Yeah. And my opinion
is... Well, if you set the bar low to start with, then you got nothing to fall back on.
I think the judge will take a look at both people's assets, and he will probably encourage them to have it done in chambers, to just say, what will this take to make this go away that both parties are happy? Because suing each other's asses is not going to achieve anything. You're going to be paying like £1 a month.
And there's nothing to be gained at all, especially when it comes to any of the stipulations.
Well, and when it comes down to it, the only people whose money has been spent, the only people's money who's been spent is yours, the public's. And the only people making any fucking money off this is Cohen Davis and a barrister.
Yeah. Yeah.
How's that setting a fucking precedent? How is that setting a precedent?
If this was going to set a precedent, this shit would have been done and dusted a long time ago. Come on.
Yes.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
If they had done this 4 years ago, the family, it would have been all done and dusted.
Yeah, it would have been. But you know what? The perpetration of the fuckery. Oh, things take time. Things have to be. Things take time.
Yes.
Things take time. I could have popped out 3 kids already in the time that it's taken since we did all this a long time ago.
I'm still waiting for the police to knock on Eddie's door.
I am too. What's going to happen first?
But there's a difference. There's a difference between saying, things like Armchair would say, these legal things take time, and things taking time because somebody doesn't have enough fucking money for the lawyers. Those are two very different things. Taking time.
Yeah.
Taking time was an excuse, just like we have to be quiet was an excuse.
Yes. It was COVID first. It was COVID that was causing it. Then it became, it's the legal process. Now it's not. It's neither. It's the fucking lack of fucking money.
And you know what?
And now
a simple cease and desist. We did get ours, whether they were legally binding, legitimate or not, doesn't matter. The point being that he tried. They didn't even try that. They couldn't even do that with him. But again, why would they want him to stop talking, right? because what would y'all have to use as ammunition or instances of defamation in a maybe some litigation in the future? But now, why would you want AD to stop? I'm asking y'all that. Okay, so now he's gone. Okay, you don't want him to stop though, and you want to continue on with it. So you go and follow him on Rumble. Yeah, y'all really legitimately didn't want him off this platform.
Bring it back to YouTube.
And bring him back to YouTube.
People show you who they really are, believe them.
Fucking hell. I don't get it. You wanted him gone, he's gone.
Yeah.
You know? It doesn't matter how much money he made in October of 1400. You know, it's just in Patreon, it has it's just totally inconsequential. It doesn't matter, especially now that content that you know that he was using and that he created in order to make that money is long gone.
It's gone.
I mean that.
And with that,
we have to expose him. He's been exposed. You know, again, these are just excuses.
Yeah,
they're just more excuses to continue.
We don't need to go back and follow it to Rumble and relive every day of 5 years worth of shit, do we?
No.
He's
and if
gone.
y'all know now, in that particular claim that was filed on March 10th, that throughout that documentation, it says that he is continually tortured by AD's content. He is continually being tortured by the content that people are re-uploading of AD's. He is continually being tortured by the comments that are being left, the messages actually that he's being sent, the things that are putting on his page. He's continually being tortured by the mere idea of AD anywhere here, right? Mm-hmm. So now that y'all know that, why would you want at this point from here on out to you know, add to that torture of this poor man?
Yeah. Well, because that would require common sense, level-headedness, and sound thinking.
But some people are
obviously
monetized.
Small collective group that don't want it to end up.
Mm-hmm. That's just
but
it.
Some of them are monetized, aren't they? Like Grumpy Granny, she's putting her thingy up for money.
Oh yeah, first fucking thing she did. First fucking thing she did when Alan got.
They're all getting permission now to make money on the back of the case.
Yeah,
so.
What permission? Nobody ever needed, required, or wanted Frankie's fucking permission to monetize. But when it comes down to it, fucking Grumpy Granny, the first fucking thing she did after Alan was terminated was put her fucking PayPal on her CP.
Begging ball out.
It in her rumble too. Yeah. Didn't even wait for the fucking dust to settle. Even gone.
Be honest with your douchebaggery too. Everybody be honest from the get-go with your douchebaggery.
Yeah.
Seriously, because now that you know that was a claim being made, you know, that he's the torture of AD in his content and the re-upload of his content and the comments that y'all are leaving and the things that y'all are sending or the things that y'all are saying is also torturous. Why would you want to contribute to that from here forth when it comes to being a genuine Rusex supporter? Right?
I'm sure that'll fit in really nicely with Frankie's documentary.
Oh, fuck. Don't get me going on that. Oh, my God. Wow.
That was my sarcastic face. You didn't see
it. There's so many things that you forget about.
I just pursed my lips and looked very uncomfortable. I'm like,
You know, back in the day, I think I said this to you in that one last live stream that we did actually on my channel, as you know, in December of 2021, when I was telling everybody when Whiskey and Maureen were on the panel and Lizzie was up and everybody was coming in and out. You know, I hated the shit that they were saying, right? At the time they were saying it because I didn't believe it to be true. And I'm only speaking for myself. So I couldn't detract away from the fact that believing something to be true would cause some abrasiveness, perhaps, from me and from all of us. But I hated at the time what they were saying, what she was saying, but she was saying the truth, you know?
Yeah.
Now you can hate what I'm saying right now and what we have said.
Yeah.
But by God, it's the fucking truth.
That's it. People that want to speak the truth, I admire. I don't care. I was in it for nearly 3 years, believing all the shit. It took you have to see it for yourself, and then once you see it, you can't unsee it, and that's when
you just start seeing more and more and more.
All of it then starts, all the layers start coming off.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
It's that old adage: you can take a horse to water, and you can't make it drink. And I think my problem was I came in hot. Nobody realised that I was Deplorable Scott, who had been around for 3 years already because I changed my name. And I think everybody thought, who's this nutter cruising in, setting up a channel and going, you're a liar, you're a fraud. And it was I know my execution of it was very poor at the time and ruffled people up. But I've always been.
What's that saying? You only get one time to make a first impression, but God damn it, it's a memorable one that you made.
Well, I specifically, when it came to the stuff that y'all were talking about with Martin Dehan, I didn't digest that, to be quite honest, because I already felt a certain way about the guy. So I wasn't caring. But at that point, it was the stuff with Claire, right? Mm-hmm. And with her son and with the Tourette's and just all of the other stuff. And that's why I said I stood up for people. I did come out and I did stand up for people, the ones that I wanted to stand up for, because it was worth it at the time.
Yeah.
So it wasn't about the Martin shit. It was more, with Claire. And that's, yeah.
Well, at that point too, when Mo and Whiskey were on, that was in December. That was like 2 months after.
Yeah, but I'm talking about going back earlier that year when Claire.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
when they were saying the things about Claire, because you know what, it's the same things that AD was saying, but it was AD. So come on,
Yeah.
It.
Well, and that's another aspect that's been a cause of being problematic overall, is people turning a blind eye to the fuckery and just sweeping everything under the rug. Mm-hmm. That's come back. Mm-hmm. That's come back to bite in the ass so motherfucking hard.
I couldn't get past the idea that when okay, let's just start little. Let's start small. When Martin Dehan claimed that I called Helen Schaefer a whore, right? Mm-hmm. Did you ever think that you would see that Martin Dehan would be saying that I called her a whore? I never did. Of course I didn't. But you know what? And I question people like Ann Westwood and other people. Why wouldn't you put me on that? Because I never did that. So it was about the truth even then. Even those little tiny small things. People overlooked everything just to continue to have a place to talk to their buddies on YouTube about the people that they didn't like.
Yeah.
That became...
And that's fine to not like people. Just, you don't need to visit that channel and be in that community.
No. You don't need to just be ugly and just get really, really down and dirty. And that's when you realize that those that were doing that y'all were never here for the right reason. Monetize your shit, GG, but you're calling the man a fucking pedophile. What's your game? What's your motive for doing that?
Yeah.
Because it's just nasty. You have other things that people
digest.
Yes, but why does it have to be him? He's gone.
But the thing is I think deep down, Anita knows it's wrong, because at one point she did take down those Savile videos for like a day. And then I can't remember specifically right now what it was, but as soon as she took them down, she put them back up. So if you're doing that kind of shit, there's obviously at some point, very briefly, something inside you said, yeah, this probably isn't a bad idea. If you
or you just
this isn't a good idea.
You don't care
if you
right?
took those videos down, but then your fuckery, whatever. Yeah, well, maybe she cared for a brief instant, but the fact she took them down means that there was something told her that they shouldn't be up, and maybe it was wrong. Why would you take them down at all?
Okay, but this is my thought.
I mean,
when people wanted to bring it back to the whole AD, why were we here in the first place? And you want it, which is more provocative and more instigatory, that is going to be more reactionary? An old clip of him saying burn baby burn gasolina, or them saying that he's a fucking pedophile? That's how low it got, right? Which is worse here, that when AD did that or said that, or the stuff that y'all are putting out now? And because of all the crappy and nasty stuff that has been put out, especially over the last 6 months, when it comes to quote unquote anti-AD, pro reset content, do you, out of all of that, all the nastiness that they're saying and just going low and talking about his kids and just talking about each other and everything, how do you really think that people are going to go back to that to that start where, oh, he's saying burn, baby, burn here. Oh my gosh. There's no coming back from that. I mean, one is so trivial compared to the other that any kind of content, let's just say that I wanted to put out or Jen wanted to put out, debunking another lie that he told for the 8,000th time is going to be completely ignored over the reactionary content that people were going to be putting out. And apparently they still fucking are, Grumpy Granny. And
it doesn't help your truth cause when you actively claim shit like, we expect a thank you from AD for saving his life for that hit that apparently was taken out on it. I mean, come on.
You're calling him a pedophile. And he's over on Rumble, and you're going to have people maybe that are coming for some reason. They're seeing something about him whenever they sign in over there. I don't know how it works. I don't fucking want to know. I don't care. But what is it? What is the idea that you're trying to project here? What is it that you want people to see? Do you think that anything good can happen to that if somebody comes across that shit and he thinks he's a pedophile, and now they're really going to be getting nasty and gross, and their genuine harm can come from something like that? We know that genuine harm can come from something like that. At this point, you are affecting his fucking business. You are affecting his income. You are doing shit that is defamatory. All right? That is abusive
and potentially affecting his real life.
Yeah. So what's the recourse? If
that's the goal, you got it.
That's what I want y'all to think about. What's the recourse he actually has going for him now? Why would you do that?
Well, 2.5 years ago, Mo and I did say that you do know he's working for the Kessinger family, and everybody laughed us out of the platform. But now I look at all of what he's done that's so damaging to the family he says he loves and wants to protect, and I have to wonder, were they disruptors from day one? Because he was the one who auditioned for somebody to run Mrs. Rusick's cooking channel, and he selected Claire, and he knew Claire before this crime was even committed, because they were in the same communities over in Facebook and Twitter.
Well, I have no doubt.
I remember when you said that. I often had wondered before if Claire and Martin actually had known each other before, and I remember when you said that to me, Whiskey, that kind of, I was like, that might answer.
She told me, and she said publicly that she didn't know him, that she had never spoken to him. But I don't know what bearing that has about anything. I don't even know what we were talking about at that time when that came up.
Well, she told me, that's why I kicked her out my channel that night, told her to back off, because she said that to me. Oh, I don't know. I've never spoken to the man, and we've got the screenshots, and you're like, I asked you to not lie. Just get the heck out. I'm not here for bullshit and stories. Mm-hmm. I want evidence and facts.
You know what? If somebody called me a liar and said that I was this crazy person that showed all kinds of stuff to all kinds of people, I'm pretty sure that if that wasn't the truth and that wasn't the case, I'd be coming out and, because that's my conviction there, right? Why is it that nobody ever wanted to come out and say that she wasn't a liar and she didn't fuck everything up? Why is it that nobody ever wanted to do that, or she couldn't do it herself? I mean, that's something I still go, Huh.
Well, you have to assume they all knew,
right?
Well, and again, right? The only invented in Saxon Earth's imagination that told Armchair, this person told my mother's sisters, that told my dentist brother's wife's friend that Saxon Earth had seen Claire's imaginary magical don't exist law credentials. And where's Saxon Earth? She's also run and hidden her channel along with the rest of them.
I thought that was hilarious that Saxon Earth was able to get Claire's credentials, but Claire couldn't even get them. I mean, that was just crazy.
Claire couldn't get them and couldn't show anybody else. Armchair firmly believed, because if Saxon Earth told Kim that she saw that Saxon Earth had seen Claire's non-existent, invented in her imagination, non-lawyering liar credentials, then that was good enough for Kim.
Yeah.
How'd that work out? How did that work out for you, Kim?
Oh my gosh. Right. I know that she came back for
I'm going to go back into the chat because I've hijacked your live stream for too long already. I know you've got
to hijack it. It's all good. I'm glad you came up though. And
so am I. I'm glad you did.
Well,
I didn't with Sam all by myself either, so I greatly appreciate that.
So from the outside looking in, I could see that now would be the time. And if you're watching younger Frankie, now would be the time to just type something or ask your lawyer to type something that says that you do not associate yourself with these people who've not got the credentials and haven't done what they claimed they were going to do for you. Distance yourself now. I think people are asking about how's he managed to get a barrister. He hasn't got to the 75 grand limit yet. I did a civil litigation in, I think it was Tony Blair was the Prime Minister. Was that 97, 98? Around that a long time ago. Once upon a time, we sued someone. And because the case that I wanted sued was so huge, I needed to give him a 35,000 retainer just to sit down, go through all my shit and tell me whether he was going to take the case or not. And that barrister was at Gray's Inn, which is the same in a temple of courts that Frankie's now using. So it is totally legit.
Yeah, and now, we also know that Frankie has an outstanding bill too. So basically, he's got a tab with those lawyers that have gone ahead to do what they've done.
And he's the technical client of Crowd Justice / Legal. So,
but I had to just say, look, that's as much money as I've got. Do your best with that. So I got a retraction in the newspaper on the back page somewhere under, well, God knows what. I got a little sentence. But with Frankie's case, because it has been so covered on media and entertainment, because you had the Netflix documentaries, the A&E one, and didn't Amazon do one? I can't remember. But there was a number of productions. And there's been all of this online. And I am now wondering if Frankie's barrister has got this insurance policy where he can say, I will represent you right now all the way to trial and beyond, and if I win, you're going to pay me 40% of whatever, and if I lose, my insurance will pay my wages. You'll get nothing, but at least I'll get my wages covered. And I'm wondering if that is how they've come to this arrangement. And it wouldn't surprise me, because if I was a young barrister and I've just passed the bar and I'm trying to prove myself in this new aspect of law, because it is new, all this digital internet stuff. If I was wanting to show the Inns of Court I was associated with how good I am, I would choose a high vis and I would work day and night on it for free because of the kudos I would get.
Yeah. But I think that in reading that, Welsh lady, when she's saying, this has always bothered me that Cohen Davis let her have sensitive material knowing that she wasn't a lawyer. Yeah, that's one thing. But also this, knowing that we have sensitive material from the people involved, right? Up until, the stuff that was filed on March 10th. And nowhere in that, in the claimants, what the claimant wants, essentially. Yeah. Was there anything about paying for the lawyer fees?
No.
Not in that one. Now, the one that he was waving around, I believe, it was written in that, but in March 10th, no, nothing about the lawyer's fees. So you could be very well right on that they're saying, we'll get a percentage or whatever, especially since they wanted the future income, future revenue that was being generated from AD's Watts content. That's what they wanted.
In which case, Martin could be doing Frankie a favor by firing it all up on another platform to keep the injury going so he can make more money. He could be the monkey and Frankie's the organ grinder. Who knows?
You know what? Hey, I'm glad that's food for thought. That's an interesting perspective. It really is. You can't make any money off of something that's been removed completely. But if he's, his views would be completely non-existent compared to anything that AD may have gotten at the time, even still on YouTube.
But now, if that was the case, I mean, it's been fully made clear who's behind it and who's doing it. Again, that's done nothing but sabotage.
I firmly lay all the blame on Dehan and Claire Morgan, because they both knew she was lying.
With a little sprinkle of Helen Schaefer in there too, who's continued with that. Claire holds her head high with dignity.
Well, after March 10th, literally, they didn't do anything to help him. They did everything they could to sabotage it.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And those malicious crowd justice donations came after that too.
Yes, after.
It was
in the names of people that were asking for transparency and asking about Claire Morgan, or just, you know, knowing that the lawsuit was going forward. I really believe that if they could have got, that's why I said it's going to be a fucking public relations nightmare for you, and that's exactly what happened, and it has been, and it, you know, that was just simply.
You called that back in December 2020,
a long time ago. Yeah, I mean, it's just, you know,
relying on people. Are very bad.
Yeah, relying on people to do. They're taking people at their word, right?
Yes.
They're giving power to people, or they're allowing things to happen with the people that they're giving that power to. They're not as responsible as they should be for their own selves, especially when it came down with Claire. I mean, that could have been nipped in the bud immediately. None of that stuff had to happen after it. Nothing had to be said other than, yes, we know, and the case is going forward. You wouldn't have had people asking you, look, you know what, contacting legal or crowd justice or asking for refunds or any of those things. It wouldn't have gotten abusive. Theoretically, it wouldn't have gotten as abusive and nasty as it did by people, you know, from Dehan and his cohorts. Yeah. And those people's names showing up on that crowd justice fund, culminating with Armchair detectives himself. That was the nail in the coffin.
How does it make any sense that the person with that caused the catastrophic monumental damage that is known as Claire Morgan being called out on the different levels of fuckery that she was like acting out on? How does that turn into her being the cause of it all? How does that turn into the people who were in it for the right, actual, real reasons, calling it out, being the villains in this? It just doesn't make any sense, while Claire walks away scot-free, so to speak.
I have no idea.
That make sense?
Because nobody can come out and just be accountable. Lack of accountability. They don't hold anybody else accountable here. They don't hold themselves accountable. They want AD to be accountable. There's nothing else, you know. So
God damn it, we're going to hold Alan Vinicombe's accountability fire all day, every day. Yeah, it doesn't. It's not a one-way street. It doesn't work like that.
No. Now, I was going to say, I can't remember now. Damn it. Oh, accountability. Yeah, that's a fun word. That's a fun word.
Oh, not the A word.
How do you say accountability in Norwegian, Darzan? I want that lesson right there.
That is just, there is no accountability, and these people have done some really horrific things.
Veracity either. No veracity, no integrity,
nothing. There's no
and what's really even more sad? No, and there hasn't been for a long time, but it collectively reached the lowest depths of depravity all within this last 3 or 4 months, with the addition of Mr. Johnny Come Lately Battery Boy and those malicious justice donations all happening.
But see, this is the thing, though. When they filed that paperwork on March 10th, that
months ago,
up to that date, all the things that were being used as instances, let's just say those five videos, but a majority of it being stemmed from the Crowd Justice Fund and what people were saying about that. He put all the blame on AD about that. But the fact of the matter is that was people that were asking questions, and by that point, were getting really, really upset about it. For that to end up in his fucking lawsuit is just a slap in the goddamn face. Because ultimately, when people were first asking for transparency and accountability and there was none coming, people were getting more angry, and they had every right to be. People were asking questions. They had every right to ask. Something should have been said and done. Nothing was said and done. But for him to use all of the shit that came because of that in his lawsuit really was a slap in the fucking collective face of all of us. It really was. And that pisses me off. When they did everything they could.
That aspect is going to work out in his favor, though. Whatever happens, that's going to come back and bite him in the ass.
Nothing's going to happen.
No. Well,
a miracle at this point for anything to happen. I fully expect AD to fucking file a lawsuit for loss of income and earnings, and lost his job, his YouTube job. Fuck. I could see that playing out, but not anything else.
I'm sure.
With him.
I'm sure his representation will point that out to the judge.
And just because he said he didn't have it doesn't mean that was the truth, guys. Just want y'all to know. Just because he was saying he was going to be doing certain things doesn't mean that those things didn't actually already happen and take place. That's where I, thought, he really is shifty in that way. Damn, we know he's lying right now. We actually know he's lying about those particular things. And, I guess it was just a weird place to be when you wake up one day and you're getting his fucking legal paperwork from the lawsuits and all of that. That was just a really weird place to be in, to have that to be reading through it.
Yeah,
I want y'all to know that. That was just weird. And it is weird.
You're welcome. Well, I didn't want to be in that weird place all on my own. I had to drag you down with me, honey.
Bitch. And then outrage. Like, oh my
Don't tell
God,
me I
you
never
didn't page 29 yet, damn it.
Thought.
I mean, it's just bullshit. We'll save that for another day.
Yeah, what is it? Like 24 or 25 fucking pages, that thing.
26.
It's not a quick read, that's for sure.
Fuck.
Oh, is it 26? Well, I'm not good with numbers in that.
No, you're not. But, what were you thinking? I don't know. You're looking cute and comfy in your pajamas. I think I'm going to take a nap when this is done.
I love them. They're my new black and white silkies. Absolutely love them.
Yeah.
As soon as the sun goes down, they're gorgeous, especially when the weather's.
Oh, well, it's funny because I always forget that you guys are 5 hours ahead of me. So when you first came up and you're like, "Oh, I'm in my pajamas," I'm like, damn, it's 1:30 in the fucking afternoon. But that's only here in
Sunday, right?
Well, that's
I can see this. They're getting ready for bed over there, and we're going to be done by the time Larnie wakes up. Poor Larnie.
Yeah. And she's going to be
your live streams at a really weird time. Damn it. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. I have this little ritual that I do every year leading up to Halloween. I watch every single episode of every single American horror. So that I've watched it all before it launches and I can't wait to see the new one.
Oh.
Can't wait. Series 12.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently they've got Kim Kardashian in it.
Oh my gosh, really?
Oh,
I don't think she'll have the same impact as Lady Gaga did.
No.
Somehow I just don't see it.
There's no.
And if you squint your eyes really quickly like that, you'll see Nicole Kessinger coming out of the garage. If you look.
There might even be a red car driving in the background.
And a shadow on the porch. Don't forget, like that.
Did you put that in there for me?
Yeah, I just wish that it would all come out who did what with the photoshopping, and hopefully in time, it is a big jigsaw, but hopefully in time we will all get those pieces put together, and we will see.
Well, the puzzle is more complete now than it was.
Yes, yeah.
It's weird. What? Go ahead.
You go ahead.
I was just, we've never in this community, or the ones that we all inhabited, maybe some of y'all did way back in the day, I don't know, but we never discussed case theory when it came to the Watts case. We never had any discussions about it. Never spoke. I never did. So
I made videos debunking him, but no, we never got into actual.
We never discussed our own thoughts and opinions on it. Isn't that? It's interesting. Yeah, that really is interesting.
Yeah, and
I still haven't watched that whole documentary from Netflix. it was,
and it was not like it was anything that was okay. We're not going to talk about it. It just organically. That's just how we were.
It was.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Oh,
That would
we've got a grass in the chat. Mo says AD knows they're photoshopped.
Of NK in the drive. He knows who gave them to him.
And he knows who gave them to him.
What? Well, I would hope that he knows who gave it to him. I don't. What?
Well,
we just know that he can't Photoshop shit.
Yeah.
And neither can Martin Dehan.
Nope.
Nope.
No.
Can't do shit.
And he can't do research either.
When you haven't changed your font or anything else in 5 years of making fucking videos. God
So I
damn
said
it.
for an IT genius, your shit would have gotten better. I mean, if
Exactly.
you look at JC's videos, got a little bit better as time passed, and she was progressing.
I didn't even know how to make a fucking video when I started. God, I never made a video in my entire life. It was all music audio based. So what's your fucking excuse, you pathetic, creepy fucking punk ass bitch stalker?
I know. I mean, this is the thing. We are even wondering who the hell it is in Helen Jaffa's bed at night, because you know there's quite a few versions of Martin Dehan floating around, isn't there? And you're like, how can this be the same dude?
Oh
wow.
God.
Wow. Yeah, that was an interesting little rabbit
hole.
hole.
Now we know exactly why he refused to show any actual current photos of himself and used multiply layered fucking 30-year-old photos.
I thought it was interesting that if anybody said anything or questioning his legitimacy as a fucking international rock god, that he would use for proof self or publicly edited wiki page about his talent. I'm like, what? You don't have a photo of you really jamming out in your studio with your other buddies recording? Well, I'm thinking if I was going to record an album, there might be a couple of photos taken. Don't know.
Just a few.
I thought perhaps, but using a wiki page.
Well, maybe as, even like a short little
that he's this guy.
Even a short of him playing well, but what about even like maybe showing yourself playing an actual instrument that you claim to play, not the fucking on the internet where they don't even fucking look like you.
You know why he was hiding in the corner, being quiet and not wanting to play during that live stream that he had on Kelly's, was because he probably broke into somebody's house, an actual place that had those guitars, and he didn't want to make noise and wake them up. That's probably what happened. That's what I think. That's my conspiracy theory for the day. Talk amongst yourselves. Well, can I help you, madam?
Yeah.
No. Get him cute. Hold on.
Fucking rock star. Fucking Jesus. Well, at least now, I mean, I think he's been so embarrassed and shamed. He doesn't make fucking reference to him being in the Yum Yums every fucking second video and hasn't for a long fucking time.
Yes, gone rather quiet there, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think the last time I recorded.
We haven't had a tour of the recording studio yet.
No, how is he going to move? I hope when he buys that mansion for Schaefer and relieves her from the burden of the UK taxpayer, that one of those rooms in that mansion will be able to house his giant stolen photo of his studio when he moves it over from Norway on Ryanair. Mr. Self-professed Richie Rich taking economy fares, fucking airplane rides. Okay.
Why couldn't you just bankroll that whole damn lawsuit yourself? Damn. I mean, really? Why didn't you? I'm sure you got some friends in high places that might have an extra buck or two that could donate such good,
Well, we were told recently that the Yum Yums are having a reunion tour. So,
wasn't he supposed to be going and joining them? Didn't he tell Jason that?
Yeah, check the cities near you to see what dates they're playing. I can't find them anywhere in the UK so far.
Once again, invented from the imagination of the fucking creepy, stalking fucking coward.
Wow. Karen Paradox says he was the biggest catfish. It's so interesting that you get into a place like YouTube or, you're on these social media platforms back in the day and you're able to invent yourself and, portray yourself to be any number of things. Yeah. And it's, again, no accountability or proof of anything ever having to be shown. Just say whatever you want and call AD a pedophile now. hey, the world is going good, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. I don't know if you remember, Sam,
be.
but one of those streams that you and I did just over a year ago when I finally started calling out Martin for the piece of shit that he actually is. One of those thumbnails that I have is Martin Dehan, Watts Island's biggest catfish. Fuck.
Oh, that's right. You did. Yeah, you did. That's right. That's right. Oh my gosh. But it's true. Wait, Salty, call the police to check.
It turned out to be even more true and proven even further.
Yeah, Gigi, I have to say this at your expense. Did you call the police and ask them if it was okay for you to call the pedophile? Did you ask them first?
And then you can play that call all over YouTube because the police said it's okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Police.
Oh my God. I was just listening to something. Hold on. What were you saying that the other day? Yeah, I'm going to the police with this. And we went to the police and I got it from the police and I talked to the police, or the police came and got it. I mean, when is that going to stop? I mean, are people still going to be insistent that they went to the police with different things? Or how about you just not say that you went to the police? I don't think the police would want you to put it on YouTube before going to the police with it. Just a thought.
Well, you'd think that would be the only place you would go with such a serious concern. You wouldn't go anywhere else. You would go directly to Family Protection Unit of your local force and say, I have concerns about this individual, and you would give the details, you keep your mouth shut, and you let them do their job.
Well, exactly. That have the special teams and units to actively and effectively investigate such things. But and it's been this way for a long time, those that keep utilizing that, thinking that it provides
bears any weight,
any type of credibility, guess what? It makes you look like more of an idiot, and you lost your credibility a long fucking time ago. It just makes you look like
it
just again further proves everything we've been saying.
Yeah, well, you know what? Pretty much everything from March 10th on was just so ridiculous. It got so ridiculous, especially when the idea that people would come up here and get really, really abusive and just talk all kinds of mad shit and just get nasty and low and then say that they were a victim of abuse and they were being harassed by others on YouTube. I mean, I would think that you would stop that behavior and maybe you wouldn't be harassed anymore. And if you're in such danger, you feel like you're being threatened and all of that other stuff, that you might not want to get on YouTube for a little while and keep yourself safe. Now, could be wrong about that, but
well, we do know the fat shaming of Helen Schaefer was the biggest concern, above well above what the Rizeks have gone through as far as she was concerned.
I'm kind of not understanding that, but no, I'm just confused. I don't recall. Well, you know, again, I didn't digest any of that stuff. You know, that was just gratuitously back and forth fuckery.
Body shaming. Yeah. I should have said body shaming of Helen Schaefer, as far as she was concerned, was on par or above what the family went through.
Oh Lord. Well, it's not, but I don't agree with that shaming and getting ugly and nasty like that.
Like, what are you? Get a backbone and a thick skin, for fuck's sake.
Well, you know, you gotta.
I'm just going to turn the camera on my dog. Everybody just wants to talk about the corgi.
Oh, look at that! So cute.
He's actually crushing
the camera.
Oh,
you've got under there. He's President Trumpy Bear.
That thing's the size of the dog.
He's got a toupee.
Nice and warm. He's pissed off. He's like, damn it. Give it back.
You're not going so far without.
You just like to cuddle with them, don't you, Bella?
No, sweet dog. That was cringe watching a grown woman allegedly calling the police. She must think everybody is stupid. Ring, ring. Hello, is it okay to call AD a pedophile? Sure, knock yourself out. So I said she really did kick herself in the ass a lot. Some of the stuff that she would say.
It was confirmation that she had no grip on reality, for sure.
Well, that's one way to put it. I like that way. I do. No grip on reality. Oh, wow. I can't believe that.
Well, then it became a daily pay attention to me. I want to be the star of my own show. Still waiting for the police to show up, Alan. Holy fuck.
There was one thing that I saw the other day on Lizzie's page that I want to address really quickly that I saw. Now I'm thinking, it just popped into my head. There were, keeping it above board or, non-abusive to other members there and just keep it about AD. He's been exposed in the content on the page that was shared or whatever. It's there for posterity. I don't understand why it is that people are starting to publicly say that his son is a criminal. I have an issue with that. I do. I saw that and I thought, regardless, of what he said to his son in a chat or not, why? What is that? When I think about why I was here, it certainly wasn't to look at a screenshot that was accidentally shown or whatever and calling his son a criminal. Where does the line get drawn, though?
I don't know.
Well, that's the problem.
That's a very valid point.
That's what I'm asking. Where does the line get drawn for boundary? Where is that?
Trample over
for Grumpy Granny, where does the line get drawn? Any of the people that were here at the point when I was, let's say, just for me, when are you going to draw the line? When is it going to stop? When do you realize? What is it that you were doing? What are you doing now? Starting to talk about the criminal acts that his son perpetrated is going to be perpetrating with his dad. How is that ending up on the page over there on Facebook?
And what does that have to do with the alleged
but nothing to do with that
against the family?
Because it's not just limited to those that are
recording
him over on Rumble and uploading his shit to YouTube or to their YouTube. I really would like to know that. When are y'all just prepared to even when he's dead? Are you going to go after his son or his kids at that point, his grandchildren? What are y'all going to be doing next? What is there? It's not about exposure. You're not exposing anything. I find it troubling. I wouldn't say this publicly, but
there's nothing new being said or done, is there, by any of the people? So why are you doing it? You're doing it because you're addicted to it. That's the only reason.
Well, that's why I said they're thick and twisted source of entertainment.
Yeah.
But to label yourself as being there for this reason, for this goal, what is the goal at this point? To
setting a precedence, apparently.
No. Continuing with that, with that. He's not on YouTube. All the people that were being shared back in the day, the truthers and the truth community, doesn't exist. So why even continue with that? He's been exposed. So it's not about exposure. Don't tell me you're gonna expose him. Y'all have done that for 5 years. And now you're just calling him a pedophile and now saying his son is a criminal as well. I don't understand where that is going, I guess is what I'm asking as well. Well,
and again, it comes back to call it, right? We were here to call out AD, his lies, his deception. Yet you get these fucking idiots who are throwing out those kind of accusations without a fucking lick of proof. We know that whole Smulegate was crap, that Alan recorded that song on his own. The kid came after the song was solo recorded by Alan. The kid recorded himself with Alan, therefore making a duet. Yet you still have like fucking Scissorhands backing Battery Acid, who every fucking stream, every 30 seconds, will throw up the screenshot of the thumbnail of that stupid fucking made up Smulegate. So how are you any better than Alan? You're not.
No.
So after I watched all of what's transpired, I decided to stop going live and talking about any live crime at all, because I felt that we should have accountability.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just saying hi to somebody. No detention for her today.
So I just decided to walk away and stop doing it, because by then, at that point, I wasn't just seeing it here in this crime and this corner. We were seeing it in all of them, weren't we? It was Susanna Morphew, Kelsey Barrett. There were so many crimes, Laurie Val, and we were seeing similar behavior that we've all suffered from here in all these other sites. And I just thought, I don't, I don't need lunatics in my life. Thank you very much. I do enjoy truth.
Especially not fresh off dealing with some, but it's true. Like Checkmate Humanity said in that video that I played towards the beginning. Sometimes it takes a while for these big tech companies to make the decision to axe a channel, because there is I believe the word she uses is abhorrent. There are so many abhorrent creators that, not minimizing what Alan has done, but he's not the only one, and he's far from the worst. And I'm not just talking about the Watts case. I'm talking in general of any and all cases.
Yeah. But you know what? It's why when that question was being asked, why is it just AD? Why not go after all of these other ones? The people that were here that were going after AD, he was the first one and the main one, right? But why would they want to seek litigation, let's say, against people like Dave or Mensa, or insert whatever person you can think of here? Because the people that were here weren't talking about Dave or Mensa or whoever else. It was about AD. So I don't see anything happening in that regard. There's no one that will be taken to court, legally pursued by him at all. I don't see that happening. And one thing that, like with Claire in that day on that StreamYard, when she's saying that they've already filed litigation against Daniel Bishop and others that were here in the United States. Of course, that hasn't happened. It didn't happen. It's going to. Bless you. But bless you. But yeah, there are.
Oh my God! 3 times.
Stop it! I think you're cursed. What happened to you? Stop.
I have no luck at all.
None. Ooh, but yeah, there are people here that are just undoubtedly a lot worse than him, and the content that they were putting out.
Yeah.
He never ever came out and put up Martin Dehan's face next to Jimmy Savile's and called him a fucking pedophile. He never did that. GG.
No.
Never.
No.
No matter what he had said about you or anybody else, he never did that. He never got that low.
Nope.
I'll give the man that credit, and that's about it. Okay.
Cassia says I'm allergic to bullshit. That's about right. Go sneezes.
Well, I'll jump off your panel and I'll stay in the chat. And if anyone else brings up anything that you think I might be able to answer, I'll try and help along. But yeah, I think.
Well, I appreciate that.
Okay.
Absolutely appreciate it.
It was good having you up here.
Well, thank you for coming up.
Nice to see you.
Thank you.
I'll show you my highlight.
You look lovely in your PJs.
Oh.
My friend made that for me. How clever. Crocheted Highlands. A crocheted Highland.
That's cute.
I can't even sew a button.
I can't. No. Right, so I'll sit in the chat and I'll see if there's any other stuff coming in the chat that I might know the answers to. I'll try and help out, and we will keep in touch, and we will keep updating each other with the research we're doing. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I appreciate it. Thanks, Whiskey.
Yeah. I'm looking at the chat now, seeing what people are saying. I mean, we. Damn it.
In a land consumed by the insatiable desire for chocolate chip cookies, an unsuspecting pack of cookie monsters embark on their final indulgence. They couldn't resist the allure of those golden, gooey delights. One by one, they succumbed to the temptation, devouring each cookie with reckless abandon. But little did they know, a force of nature was brewing, silently waiting to unleash its power. A mighty wave of pure milk surged forth, ready to reclaim what was rightfully its own. The cookie monsters stood no chance against this relentless torrent of creamy goodness. In a twist of fate, the cookies they cherished were devoured by the very essence that completes them. The timeless companion that brings balance to your indulgence, a refreshing salvation for every cookie lover. Got milk?
That was weird.
Well, that was because
like
of my cookie things.
Really
I asked artificial intelligence to make me a Got Milk commercial, and that's what it created.
Nice. I like that. Now that you told me that, it's not the least bit creepy, or it doesn't remind me at all of that weird Willy Wonka scene when they're all psychedelic in the boat going down and that kind of thing.
Well, there's a method to my madness, but I didn't want to tell you till after the fact and take away, shock and what the hell.
There's always a method to my madness. There's always a reason why I'm doing something or saying something.
So before I so rudely cut you off, what were you saying?
That we had not flat out up to this point. We may have alluded to having certain things and even naming it flat out, but we never actually spoke about it. We still haven't gone over it together. But the particulars of claim and telling them, just some of the things that were in it. That's what compelled me. I reached out to Jen the other day when it became apparent that there were people that wanted to go off of YouTube to find out where Alan Vinicum was and to bring his content over here. And they were re-uploading AD content. And knowing what was said throughout that particular documentation that was filed on March 10th about being tortured, which is an appropriate word since, tortured was the word that he used throughout it. That,
well, when it comes down to it, because we spoke up about Claire Morgan, how we were accused of bullying the family. Who's fucking really bullying the family? Martin Dean, the official torturer. Well, that's true. That's
what it is. I mean, and it's like I'm asking, where's the line going to be drawn? I mean, when is it going to stop? When is it going to end? Do you really think anything's going to happen? Y'all know it's not, but you wanted to. Of course, we all wanted it to, but it was done and it's been fucking done and dusted for so long. And people even, you still want to delude yourself into thinking that something is happening and only so that way you can keep talking to your friends that you made on YouTube about the people that you hate on YouTube, ironically.
But we know they talk to each other in their little fucking collective groups off YouTube anyway. So what the fuck difference does it fucking make?
Exactly. I know that was a question we all asked each other. What would happen if we woke up tomorrow and AD wasn't here anymore? We'd all be glad because he'd be off the platform.
Yeah.
But what would we do after that? Well, there's a lot of things we can do after that. But there are some people that just didn't have that planned out, it appears. Or they're coming really late to the game. They got something to offer, which isn't anything but bullshit and fuckery.
Yep.
And harassment. So
coming late to the game, coming to the game when it's fucking over.
So the liability over there. Is it a good idea? Was it a good idea to go over there and start an account and upload the shit that the one person you say you're supporting and doing it for says that it tortured him and that it was torturous? That it damaged him so badly, psychologically and emotionally and everything, that he just couldn't go on with day-to-day activities of daily living. That's fucked up in itself, the way that was worded in there. So we perpetuated that. All of our channels, the true channels, essentially. We enabled that because we re-uploaded his content. We did our live streams, debunked his lies. That sucks that was written like that. Mm-hmm. What did any of us ever fucking do? I mean, we really did not.
Are you still there? Am I still here?
I'm just angry. I'm angry thinking about, with the lawsuit and the one that's filed and the way it's written and all of that. Just to see, it's just fucking sick. Using the crowd justice fund as reason to. So all of the shit that Claire and everybody created, all of the video clips that y'all said, none of them were fucking used. None of them were used. He was using what AD was using off of us. We were talking about the crowd justice fund and about all the shit, the people being attacked. Mrs. Rusek saying, shove your money where the sun doesn't shine. Outback and them laughing. Oh, ignore them. They don't know what's happening. Using our words, what was being said by all of you. If AD said anything, what he did say, he was using that as instances for the lawsuit. A majority of it. And that's fucking, it is. It's the slap in everybody's face. And that includes Facts on Earth and Kim and Outback and Preach UCM, you, Gigi, Cassius, Wiccan, everybody. Fucking gross that it came down to it. Maybe that's why. I'm gonna
yeah.
to see exactly
Well, and I mean, again, if you look at it, like, I mean, so Alan is, you know, obviously starting out from scratch again. However long he might be on Rumble, well, that remains to be seen, especially if Rumble stops being over in the UK. But I mean, he's got 400 fucking followers.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it.
400.
I mean, I'm sort of quite speechless at this point because it's absolutely fucking ludicrous. And of course, I mean, he's in his fucking element. You know, I haven't seen, so I watched a little bit of Alan when Nuff Nuff, now better known as Jen's Journey, did basically her last stream on Alan and showed his first Rumble stream there, whatever, 11, 10, 9, 8, whatever, just over a week and a half ago or so. And I haven't watched any of Alan. I kind of came in towards the end of Nuff's stream. I haven't watched anything to do with Alan since. Now, I did watch a little bit of Alan's stream from Friday about Suzanne Morphew. And of course, it's Alan, right? It's the same shit, different platform. However, what I did notice, I'm going to be playing a video, Sam. What I did notice is that Alan did not share any of his previous investigatory work that he has done this far on the Suzanne Morphew case. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to show that for you, Alan. Fear not, I'm here to save the day.
Have you just joined us? Breaking news. Barry Morphew arrested. First-degree murder. What else do we know? Let's have a look. Now, there was a tip line that was going on for ages that Barry was pushing. There's accusations of bribing people and other the people know more about it. It's been going on a year. We covered it extensively for 3 months, and we dropped it after 3 months.
What we're gonna do right here is go back, way back into time.
So 3 hours ago, there was an arrest. I'm just waiting for my team to confirm whether I can say the full name. Help. Okay, I've sent you the arrest to my spanners. Am I allowed to say the full name? Is that a legal document in the USA? So I can read it out? Please answer. Public document, yes I can. Okay, right, very important. Yeah, right, so we've got an official arrest in the case. Public document. Is the female that he's supposed to be having an affair with. So now that's one rumor that's become a fact live on the AD show. One rumor is now fact. There's been an arrest, and it confirms to be, it seems, the mistress of Barry.
Makes a great bingo caller. You should try that.
He what? Oh, bingo caller. Bingo. I thought you said something about his caller. I'm sorry. It's your fucking Canadian accent. I couldn't understand what you were saying.
I think my internet's kind of kicking in and out too.
I think it is too. It was buffering on mine. You know what?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the thing. When I saw this, retrospective, it reminded me of what we were all saying on the last live stream. And I remember I wanted to get my favorite moments together, and I have a lot of them. Now, I've left most of my live streams up because it's not just AD content. It was about all of us. And there was a period of time where all of us had a lot of fun with each other. And Abby's in there a lot. And so was Diane, and Shauna was still in the chats, and she was in. So for a lot of people, there's a lot of good times and memories to be had if anybody does go through any of them. So I'm still debating about whether I want to remove them or not. I have had a couple of personal, saying, no, don't take them down yet. That kind of thing. Now, there's some moments of mine that are my favorites that didn't happen on my live streams. They happened on other people's. And one of them, two in particular, would be on Nuffs. So I'm asking Jen's Journey, would you mind sending me the link for the live stream when AD did his AD against Martin, and we live streamed him on yours, that one. There was some good moments on that with y'all that I would like to be able to get, as well as the one with it was the stuff with Dorothy. Jen did 2 live streams.
Those are still up?
No, they're not. But in the second one, because she did 2 live streams when it was all
I did them or Nuff did them?
Nuff did them.
Oh,
no.
Okay, I thought meant
so there was 2 that they did. It was Granny's Watching was involved. So it was those 2. But in the second one, that's the one that I was on. And there's some really fun times in there, but also with Maddie. There was something that happened towards the end. I mean, I got off early. I wasn't there for the whole thing. But with Maddie in particular, that I would really, if I can get those links from you, Jen's Journey, Nuff, I will love you forever, because I do want to I am finally putting the kibosh on my retrospective and on my favorite moments with everybody. And that includes Preach. It includes Outback. It includes Kim. So, I'm not an awful person, because I had a lot of fun times with y'all. And I would like to have those moments.
The main course retrospective.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, there was one that we did, but actually I think that would have been I think Claire did one of those. Oh. Because Neff had a strike. AD struck her. So I think we did one of those live streams on Claire's back then, didn't we?
Don't ask me. I don't fucking know if I'm coming or going.
I still got her on my thing. Maybe she'll answer a message if I send it to her. I'm not talking about Neff. I'm talking about Claire.
Well, she hasn't responded to you up till now, so maybe something of some different conversation. Nah, no.
Oh gosh, well, you know what? We had
out on too.
Remember the live stream where we were coming up with ideas to raise money for the crowd justice, and Susie was in the chat, and Belinda, and she was getting up on panel, and Kim kept coming up and going down, coming in and out with Susie as well. And there was talk about some mules, not Shmule, but actual mule, MULES, mules. And it was just a really good time. So that's in there. With you, Jen, you, JC, me, Preach and Outback. When that night when you kept trying to order pizza, but it just wasn't working for you, and you ended up with some Joe.
Oh yeah.
Remember that? That was fun. That was
Joe Louis.
Joe Louis. We had so much. That was a good one.
Trying to think. I can't think of what the actual context of it is now. I think I have the clip. I think it might be on private, but there was a clip of, I don't even know who streamed it. Probably was yours, because I wasn't streaming back then. That there was you, myself, Preach, and somebody else was there. And again, I can't remember the context, but it's funny as fuck.
With the dildo?
No.
That was fun.
No, but there was well, I don't know why this made me think of it, but there was also that one with Nicole Morgan.
Oh, yes. When she was all drugged up. That one. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. And she went off and told us a story there about somebody with one green high heel and one.
Yes. Yeah. We thought, what, she really is tripping. So that was a fun one. That one.
I have that one.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was on mine. That was the one I think maybe.
We like to tease her with it, but I don't leave it up.
What I was telling you about, the story about when my mom perms my hair, decided to try to give me a perm of all people.
Oh, yeah.
On me. And you and your mom, that was fun. But if if you're listed, would you mind sending me the links for those 2 live streams with the it was after the Dorothy stuff and Granny's watching was on the panels.
God.
I will love you. I already will love you forever.
Yes, so, it was Nuff that did those.
I'll love you more. Huh?
I said, you're right. It was Nuff that did those streams. I made videos, but I didn't actually. I don't even think I was streaming them. Never mind. I'm just talking to myself.
Okay. Well, I'll let you continue talking to yourself. It's getting later in the day here, and I have a lot of fun things to do to get ready for the work week. And
no, this is good. It's a time to wind it down. I want to thank Whiskey again for an impromptu visit up on panel with us and answering questions people have. It's appreciated.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That was fun.
Yeah.
Interesting. And
yeah, you were okay as a co-host. I mean,
I just got no energy from you today. We're not clicking. It's just not. It's cold today. We're not. Just. It's too hard being up here with you because there's just no repartee going back and forth. It's boring.
Well, I've got Cookie on the. This is for Cookie.
Oh, I love that song. When I was a kid, I love it. Okay, yeah, we'll plan a really, really good, fun live stream with everybody in the coming weeks, and that is a definite because we have to do that, and it's going to be a good time.
Well, yeah, we'll have to do it on your Ghetto channel for old time's sake.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Okay, that's it. I'm not feeling salty. I'm out of here. You're boring. This live stream sucks.
I'm getting tired, actually. I think those sneezes took everything out of me.
I think so, too.
God,
my coffee never kicked in. It's not going to.
Yeah, if it's not happening now, it's not going to happen at all. Yeah,
okay.
Wind it down.
You wind it down your way, and I will tell everybody, thank you for coming. Thank you for hanging out with my salty ass, at least, and Whiskey coming up on the panel and having a good time, and nice discussion, and stay salty, bitches.
Get out!
Get the fuck out of here.
Damn, kick her ass off. Give me a second. There we go. And that's how you get rid of the trash. Just toss it off. All right, guys. Yeah, I'm all of a sudden finding myself exhausted, too. It's dinner time here, and all that fun stuff. But I do thank you for everybody that joined in today. Again, apologize for sort of the delays in the communications getting crossed. It wasn't anybody trying to, except when Sam and I interrupt each other intentionally. We weren't trying to talk over each other. Just with that Whiskey being way over on the other side of the world, I think my internet was kicking in and out. So apologies for that. But, I mean, what can you do? That's technology for you. All right, guys. Well, Salty will keep you updated. Of course, I'll be back at some time soon. In the meantime, you guys don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Happy Sunday, Monday, maybe Tuesday if you're in Australia. Bye, guys.
Pump it up while your feet are stumping and the jam is bumping. Look ahead, the crowd is jumping. Pump it up a little more, get the party going on the dance floor. See, 'cause that's where the party's at, and you'll find out if you do that. Oh, a place to stay. Get your booty on the floor tonight. Make my day. Oh, a place to stay. Get your booty on the floor tonight. Make my day. Make my day, 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 make my day. Bump it up a little more, get the party going on the dance floor. See, 'cause that's where the party's at, and you find out if you do that. A place to stay, get your booty on the floor tonight, make my day. A place to stay, get your booty on the floor tonight, make my day. Make my day, 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 make my day. Pump up the jam, 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 pump it up.